Yamamoto.
Podcast doesn't exist. Episode 65 is special edition episode. Today for 2026 first half recap, a complete guide to the first half. If you missed the first half, or you were watching World Cup, or you were watching NBA, or you were watching what's that show that people like? Love Island. Or watching Love Island like a little pansy, dude. Now it's time to lock back into the season and get ready for the pennant, for the home stretch. You can really figure out everything you need to know about the first half of the season. We're going to cover all 30 teams in the first half. What was your favorite team in the first half, Jack?
I'm going to go Tampa Bay Rays.
Tampa Bay Rays had a great first half. Holy moly, and they done it despite being broke. They keep doing it. But before we get to the first half recap, let's recap this last week, because we did have a big week of baseball as well. We had an all-star game. We had a home run derby. We had a Red Sox game. We had a White Sox game. We had a Brewers game. Every single team played this week despite the all-star break. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of cheating allegations, bro. They just banned AI in the dugout. If you're trying to cheat in the dugout with iPads, we might have another Houston Astros situation. It's funny that the Mets got caught up in that the most, but apparently teams are attempting to use iPads to cheat. Or I don't know if they're attempting to use iPads to cheat, but MLB is preventing them from attempting to use iPads to cheat, because MLB is now concerned that people might start using iPads to cheat. That's always got to be a concern. The Dodgers think other teams are stealing their signs, so they got a massive glove. That's pretty good. Roki Sasaki's glove. Can we just pull up? Oh, I can't see the screen right here, Jack. Can we turn this on?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. But Roki Sasaki's got a massive glove. That's changed everything. Somehow he's throwing 5 miles per hour faster because of a glove. Jarren Duran threatened to beat a fan's ass again. Wouldn't be the first time. Shohei Ohtani is no longer pitching. That sucks ass. The Red Sox are probably cheating, because the Red Sox are on fire all of a sudden. The Red Sox are the best team in MLB. The Red Sox, what did I see? The Red Sox have the second best run differential in the American League right now.
What?
Second best run differential in the American League? Am I making this shit up? Am I right or am I right? I am right. They have a better run differential. Well, they're tied for second. They have a better run differential than the Tampa Bay Rays, and that's your team of the first half, Jack. So you think the Red Sox, do you want to make a correction? Would you put the Red Sox in front of the Rays now?
No.
No. Okay. Well, sticking to his guns despite the run differential. And apparently there was cheating in the home run derby, allegedly. So, Jack, you saw the home run derby.
I did, yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was exciting.
It was exciting?
Exciting ending. Hell of an ending.
Except for the fucking camera angles. Pissing me off, Netflix. A few things with the Netflix broadcast I didn't like.
One
was the announcers. I don't know who it was. Rizzo or Pence. I respect them both to death. Love the guys. Way too hype.
I didn't
Way
pay
too
attention.
annoying.
The thing is,
Not
my
hype.
TV or my Netflix app kept stalling. Like, it kept crashing. So I missed like Bryce Harper's entire round. When they were doing announcements, it looked like they were in like 144p.
But did you see his fucking entrance, bro? I've never seen somebody enter a stadium with so much aura.
He had a lot.
Crazy.
Well, I couldn't really see much because it was all blurry.
Are you blaming Netflix for that, or is that your...
I'm blaming Netflix.
It could be your router,
Is
bro.
it possible he was so cool he couldn't be captured on camera? Is that possible?
No, I saw him on camera. I saw him get knocked out in the first round after doing the most on the entrance, and I'm not hating on Bryce Harper.
Phillies.
I love Bryce Harper.
Phillies own.
And I was rooting for Bryce Harper to win it. He did like he did for the Nats when they had it at home, but Bryce Harper unfortunately didn't win it. And the big takeaway is that it was rigged, man. Allegedly rigged. The winner cheated. According to some people, this was, I would say, one of the best home run derbies I can remember. Definitely of recent times. The winner got a $1 million prize. So there was a $1 million prize for this home run derby, which I feel like it just keeps going up and up. $1 million is fucking crazy. So Jordan Walker and 3 other contestants only make about $800K a year, meaning if one of these guys wins the home run derby, they literally double their salary. So I'm not saying there was cheating involved, but if there's definitely some incentive to cheat there, you can double your salary in one night's... How many home runs did he hit? It's not really important. Anyway,
How is that not one of the stats we had ready?
I mean,
I think it was like, wasn't it like,
Well, he only hit 6 in the second round because he only needed 6. He had like 10 swings left, but he had 12 in the final round, and then he hit. Was he one of the ones who had 14 in the first, or did he hit like 13?
I thought he was at like 23 or 24 or something like altogether.
Okay, all together, I got you. I'm like, bro, where are you watching? There was less home runs in this home run derby than I think maybe in history.
There were a lot fewer home runs hit in this derby than the past 5 years by like more than half.
Yeah. So half the home runs, yet more exciting because there are new derby rules this year. So before this year, batters would have 3 minutes to hit as many home runs as they could. Now each player just gets 20 swings in the first round, half the field advances. Then they get 15 swings in the second round, and then 15 swings in the final round. However, there's a catch. So on the last pitch of the round, you get a magenta ball. Now, what are we raising money for? Cancer? Stand up to cancer? What is a magenta ball for, Mitchell? It's been the same one forever, right?
I feel like this one
Stumped
is magenta
twice.
for T-Mobile.
Just T-Mobile.
I don't really know if it's raising money for anything or if
Raising
T-Mobile
money for T-Mobile.
was just like we're buying the rights.
Well, okay. Respect to T-Mobile. Thank you for sponsoring the big game. So they get the last pitch is a magenta ball. And if you hit a home run on the magenta ball, you get to keep going. So you get unlimited swings as long as you hit one on the magenta ball. First 12 batters, nobody hit a home run on the magenta ball. Broadcast is talking about, it's because of the depth perception. They're not used to hitting magenta ball. You're usually hitting white balls.
I mean, it does look insane. Here's a side-by-side that someone put up. And the ball looks so much different.
It's a magenta ball. What are you gonna do? So first 12 batters, no one can hit a home run on the magenta ball, right? Schwarber ends up hitting 1 at the end. So the only magenta homer of the night was Kyle Schwarber. He ends up making the final versus Jordan Walker of the Rays. Now, this is another thing that made this derby so much better. It was at home and it was in Philly. Home for Schwarber, it was at home. It was in Philly. Phillies fans are they're excitable. They're, what's the word? Scumbags. So they cheer really loud and they get really mean to the opposing players, which is exciting. Schwarber's getting a lot of love and Jordan Walker's getting booed to death. Schwarber has a great final round. Philly's going crazy. You can see Bryce Harper say it's over. So Bryce Harper kind of not being disrespectful, but takes 2 L's tonight. First, he gets a little excited on the entrance. Looks like he's going to win, gets bounced in the first round. Then Schwarber in the finals goes off, home runs in his first 18 swings. Sorry, that was Jordan Walker. But Schwarber says it's over. Sorry, Bryce Harper says it's over. It was not over, okay? Jordan Walker comes up. Philly's booing the fuck out of him. They're cheering on his downfall. Ends up hitting 8 home runs in his first 14 swings, which is way behind Schwarber. He's got 1 swing left. So in order to win this, he has to hit 4 straight home runs, all on the magenta ball. Remind you, there's only been 1 home run on a magenta ball all night. The announcers won't shut the fuck up. It's impossible to hit a home run on a magenta ball. What does he do? First home run, magenta ball out. Okay? That was actually his first one. If you remember, it was barely out. It hit the top of the wall, almost eliminated on the first one. Then hits back-to-back on magenta balls. He doubles the magenta ball count in 2 pitches. Schwarber looks concerned. He then ties it. 3 straight magenta ball pitches. He's down to his last pitch. He needs 1 more home run to win the derby. He crushes it, wins the home run derby. A fan catches the game-winning home run derby ball. The entire fans in Philly, they're saying, throw it back, throw him back. The guy's like looking real nervous. Should I throw it back? Should I throw it back? He throws the ball back onto the field. Now, that ball, what do you think that's worth? Tens of thousands of dollars?
At least.
Thousands of dollars. He just throws that bitch back.
Why would the Phillies fans care if he threw it back?
Because the other guy won it. Jordan Walker won it. So they're like, we fucked Jordan Walker. We don't throw the ball back. You know the tradition of throwing the ball back after a home run?
I do get it because it's like, we don't want his home run, but it's the home run derby. It's not like they beat the Phillies. It wasn't Cards Phillies.
Bro, it means more. It means more.
Morale.
He beat the Phillies, bro. It's Phillies.
For reference, this Bryce Harper magenta ball that went for an out is currently being auctioned off for at least $580.
So the game-winning home run derby ball, we're talking
at least
$5-10 grand.
At least
$5-10 grand. This guy yeets it back on the field, but upon closer inspection, the ball wasn't even magenta. The last home run ball was a regular ball. So that's cheating. Look, and he's got the magenta ball in his left hand.
Wait, my understanding was once you run out of your 20, the last one is a magenta ball, and then if you get that, you keep going. But it's regular balls after the magenta ball.
No. It's magenta till you
It's
die,
the magenta
bro.
ball round essentially on.
But
that
they
last
weren't
one.
they all regular balls after that first magenta
There were
ball?
a few.
Oh.
I can't remember who, but there were a few batters who did see a regular ball get thrown in the magenta round. But Walker hit home runs in the magenta
The
round.
first 3 balls were magenta balls, I believe. The last ball was not a magenta ball. And you can see he's got a magenta ball in his left hand, but throws the ball in his right hand. Throws the white ball. So there's an asterisk on this home run derby. Either way, he wins $1 million. His salary is $800K, so he doubles his salary in one night, becomes the first Cardinals player to win a home run derby, becomes the 5th youngest player to win the home run derby. And it was an exciting home run derby. I do like the new format. Formats are formats, man. I like all the formats. I think it's nice. You get the only problem with the last format on TV, especially, is like you really couldn't follow all the home runs. It was like rapid fire, so you would miss the home runs.
Cut to a home run as it's leaving, and then you wouldn't even see the ball land. Like with this format, you can at least admire the ball go out of the park and hit the final spot and land. Last round, it was just so. Last year's format was just so rapid fire.
It's like a blitzkrieg. You kind of lose track of things. Here you got the tension. You got Walker. He needs to hit 4 home runs in a row. Can he do it? The tension, the booing. It was electric. The home run derby was electric. The All-Star game, not so much. So the All-Star game was a little bit of a snooze fest, to be honest. There's a couple reasons for that. First of all, the American League wins the game, right? So American League only has 5 teams with a winning record. They only have 5 teams with a positive run differential. The NL this year is 41 games over 500 when playing AL teams. The worst team in the NL, that's the Rockies, is 13-11 when playing AL teams. Even the Rockies are better than the AL, right? AL fucking sucks. However, AL smacks the NL 4-0. NL can't even score a freaking run against these guys. Whatever. And this just... AL can't lose an All-Star game. 23 of the last 29 All-Star games have been won by the AL. Since 1988, 29-8 versus the NL in All-Star games, and they've outscored them by 49 runs. They dominate the NL in the All-Star game. It is what it is. But back to the game being a little bit of a snooze fest. I don't know if this definitely has a lot to do with it, is that no one fucking played in it. Shohei Ohtani drops out due to a knee. Vladimir Guerrero drops out due to a back. Cam Schlittler, available but did not pitch. Paul Skeens didn't pitch because he pitched on Sunday. Jacob Mizorowski didn't pitch because of arm fatigue. Chase Burns had a tight groin, a sore groin. Wow. He's not playing in the All-Star game. Ranger Suarez was on the IL, couldn't play. Nick Kurtz couldn't play. Buxton couldn't play. Aaron Judge couldn't play. Max Meyer couldn't play. Really missed Max Meyer. Would have loved him out there. Braxton Ashcraft dropped out. Zach Wheeler refused to pitch. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 guys at least. 15 guys at least who did not participate in this game. I believe you also got to add in Chris Sale, Yamamoto, and Logan Webb, who were not available due to request by the team. So their teams requested, we don't want these guys pitching. They're trying to manage their workload or whatever. I get why you would want to manage a pitcher's workload because these guys are worth a lot of money. They're helping your team out a lot, but it does kind of hurt the game a little bit when you don't have the best stars playing in it, bruh. What the fuck? Only 13 of the original 24 pitchers last season were actually pitching in the game. We had Riley O'Brien pitch in the 3rd inning for the NL, and I got to be honest, man, I'm a big baseball fan. Literally what I do for work. Mitchell, you're a big baseball fan. I didn't fucking know who Riley O'Brien was. Before he got selected, before he got picked as a replacement. And maybe that's my fault. I'm a casual, and you could come at me for that. That's something I should have known, and I do apologize. I should have known that, but I didn't know that. I didn't know he was a guy. Pitched the 3rd inning. Did you know Riley O'Brien?
I did know who he was, but it's also because he's half Korean. So,
and you know what? We need more Koreans out there in the All-Star game. And that's one of the things I did not like about this All-Star game. Not that many Koreans this year.
Yeah, where were the Koreans?
Where Jung-Hoo Lee wasn't even in there.
Riley O'Brien was in there.
Good job.
With the very Korean name of Riley O'Brien.
Riley O'Brien. Half Korean, half Irish. Gotta love it.
Fucking Korean.
Brian Baker got the final out for the American League. So, like, you know, the star power this year was down. And it does kind of beg the question, is this turning into the Pro Bowl? Because that's the last thing you need. I don't know if you guys watched the Pro Bowl recently, but I hope not. Shit sucks. Everyone knows it sucks. Even the NBA All-Star game. Shit sucks.
I do think I came across a Pro Bowl game a few years ago, and I was like, what? Why are they playing flag football?
Bro, they're playing flag football out there because they don't want players to get hurt, which I get. I mean, football, come on. Like, you can't really blame them. Like, it is a violent aspect. You could end your life out there. Do you really want to play an exhibition game?
No.
So we do need to keep an eye on that. I don't know how MLB is going to, like, prevent that from happening, because that is a trend going around all sports. The All-Star game means less now than it has ever. It's true for MLB. I mean, by far, MLB has the best All-Star game. Can we all agree on that?
I think so.
You think
I mean,
so,
the
Jack?
NHL has a regular All-Star game, kind of similarly, but
Yeah, never watched.
like the NBA has changed. It's just not as competitive as it once was.
I mean, like with baseball, you don't have the all-star pitchers throwing 20 miles an hour less, and you don't have the guys on defense jogging to get balls. Like they're
Exactly.
still playing. Ernie Clement made a great play in the all-star game where I was like, wow, that was great. In the NBA all-star game, no one's doing that.
Yeah. I think an MLB or baseball in general, it's kind of hard to go half.
It's
Do you
really
think they
hard.
should play like it was a regular season game, like it mattered in that way?
I think that you should try your best to try your. I mean, yeah, you got. I mean, yes and no. Like, I don't want a starting pitcher to go 6 innings. I don't need that, but I do want the best pitchers pitching. I mean, the last few years, MLB's done a great job the last few years because they definitely have guys who don't want to play in it, teams who don't want their pitchers to play in it. But the last few years, they had the Ohtani game in 2021 when he started and hit. That was electric. Then last year, 2 years ago, you had Paul Skeens start as a rookie, and that was electric. Everyone was watching the All-Star game to see Paul Skeens start. Last year, you had Mizorowski.
And you
start.
had the home run derby shootout to end the game.
Yes. So, like, MLB's done a great job of keeping it fresh and getting the stars in it and making sure they get in it. This year, that was not the case. And it is part of a wider trend. So I don't know how you prevent that going forward.
It is just tough because, like, with most of the hitters, you can say they have a lot of name recognition. Like, Mike Trout was hitting leadoff for the American League. Even though Aaron Judge was out because of injury, you could go through this lineup and you've got people who are notable on both sides. But with the pitching, outside of the starting pitching and Mason Miller and Aroldis Chapman, it's hard to say that these guys are, like, of high name recognition to a general audience. Like, when Foster Griffin came out, he's had a great season. He probably deserved to be an all-star by the statistics, but no one knows who Foster Griffin is.
Yeah. So and you know what? It's like you can't be too mad at it or critical of it because it's like last year you had Mizorowski. MLB pulled strings to get Mizorowski in the game when he really didn't deserve it. Now, some people are mad about it. I thought that was a smart thing to do. Looking back at it this year, I think it's even smarter. Like, I don't know if there was a play that you could have pulled this year to make that happen. Like, maybe you let Verlander pitch.
Verlander on the IL.
Like, there was no, like, card you could have played that made, we got to watch the All-Star game to see this guy. This guy's pitching. We need to see this batter. He's doing something that hasn't been done before. This is this big star. He's making this. We got to see we got to see Mike Trout versus Shohei. We got to see Judge versus Skeens. Like, there was not that big storyline this year that you could have pulled.
I mean, with Judge and Ohtani both out, it's really tough to come up with something.
And even if Ohtani did play, you like to see Ohtani, but Ohtani's done it every year. So it's like, I'm not even bummed out that Ohtani didn't play in the All-Star game. You see Ohtani bat every single day of the fucking year. Do you really need to see him play for the NL? Like, does that really excite you that much at this point?
In the home run derby.
Yes. You would love to see Ohtani in the home run derby, and he did do that one year when he did the home run derby and he started and he played in the game, which was electric, and that was an electric storyline going into it. Now, he didn't really deliver because he didn't win the home run derby. First round knockout. Pitched okay, whatever. But just a little bit of a down year for the derby. However, not the derby, down year for the game, which is fine. I mean, you're not going to hit a home run every time, but the home run derby remains the best All-Star weekend event of any sport by far. Other than, if you want to say, the NHL the 4 countries tournament that they did?
That's new, and I know less about that.
That was electric because that was like real hockey that meant something, and it was It was fun because it was like, it's basically the World Baseball Classic for the NHL, and they did it instead of the All-Star game. That was cool. Okay. But I wouldn't even count that because that's basically the World Baseball Classic. Either way.
Do you think Judge would have won the home run derby if he was in it?
He's afraid to do the home run derby again.
Didn't he already win it?
He won in 2017, and then his like stats cratered in that second half, and then he hasn't done it since.
Yeah. I can see, as I've gotten older, I can see why players wouldn't want to do it. I can see why taking like 1,300 swings in 2 hours could actually.
Yeah, this was the first year that really clicked to me where it's like, that's exhausting.
There was a few guys who were like, after like 8 swings, they're like, fuck. This is way harder than I thought. I can't remember who it was.
That makes it even more incredible, though, that Albert Pujols in 2022.
Bro, those balls were fucking juice, dude. That was.
How many did he hit?
He made it to like the semifinal round or whatever.
Yeah, I was there live for that. That was electric. I will say, like live spring events, a home run derby in LA was one of the most entertaining things I've watched live. It was electric, and it was the rapid fire home runs, and it was like the crowd was into it. It was just like building up on the momentum of each home run, going when a guy hit like 10 in a row. It was crazy. But I do like the new format. So that's all we got for the All-Star Weekend. I would say you give the All-Star Weekend a 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10 because you like the Derby. Storylines were a little down. A lot of players didn't play. Don't love it, but what are you gonna do? We got real baseball to play, which we did this weekend. MLB came back. William Contreras yeeted a ball 4,000 feet into the upper deck. Play this clip. My favorite clip of the weekend. It's top of the 7th, tied 1-1, full count, go-ahead run at second base. Aaron Ashby strikes him out, and William Contreras just fucking throws this shit. Rage throws the ball into the fucking third deck for some reason. Why is he so mad? And he's mad because earlier in this inning, he throws out a guy at second base. Let's play this replay. Break it down. Motherfucker steals second. He throws him out. Call him safe. They go to review. And I don't know what you got on this. Safe or out, Jack? Safe or out?
I gotta see it again.
Goes for the tag.
That's a tough angle.
Tough angle, but then you got this
simultaneous.
You got this new angle. Gets him there.
That angle doesn't help either.
Inconclusive evidence. William Contreras doesn't like it. He throws the ball 4,000 feet into the upper deck, which I love to see. First time we've seen that all year that I can recall. Joey Votto did it. Trevor Bauer famously did it. Who else did it? Rob Dibble did it. Hit a teacher in the outfield. This is one of the staples of baseball. Carlos Zambrano did it after getting ejected. Anytime someone does it, I think it's good for the game.
That minor leaguer 20 years ago who did it and got arrested.
I did not know that story. Okay, well, thankfully, William Contreras did not get arrested for that. Either way, Brewers end up winning that game in extras. They win game 2, and then game 3, they're going for the sweep. They're down 1-0 going in the 9th inning. Leadoff single. They gotten 2 hits all game, I believe, against the Miami Marlins. They're going for the sweep. The Marlins, by the way, Jack, hate to say it to you, brother, the magic's gone with the Marlins. They're on a tough streak right now.
Oh, man, I'm a diehard Rays fan. So.
Good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's time to jump ship, brother. Either way, 2 hits all game, down 2-0. Or maybe 1-0. Down 2-0 or 1-0. I don't know. Either way, leadoff single in the 9th, then a walk. William Contreras comes up to the plate, down to his last strike, and boom! Walk-off home run for William Contreras. Pulls off an insane bat flip. I mean, this is some shit that you would get probably guillotined for 10 years ago. But he wrecks it. And that is a 3-game sweep for the Brewers coming out of the break. Take down the Marlins, who have lost, I think, 6 in a row. That's back-to-back sweeps to the Marlins, who were the hottest team in June, and they've come down to earth a little bit. Gives them a 6-game lead over the Cubs for the Brewers. So shout out to the Brewers, who continue to have a marvelous season. They are 6 games above the Cubs, who also hit a crazy home run this week. So Michael Busch, current Cubs first baseman, comes up to the plate in the first, hits a home run. Guess who catches the home run? Former first baseman for the Cubs, Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo, sitting in right field in the bleachers, catches a home run hit by a Cubs player. He catches it while holding a baby. Good job, Anthony.
He redeemed himself from last year, too.
Did he catch it?
He got the ball. We'll count it as a count.
Debate. There was another clip. Was that last year or 2 years ago?
Last year.
So there was, what are the odds? So last year he's in the stadium. Someone hits a home run to him. He's sitting in the outfield. He gets a ball right to him, hits his hand, does not catch it. This season,
same thing.
Same fucking thing. Doesn't catch it, but at least this time he's able to recover. He gets the ball. But what the fuck? I mean, is this part of the script? Why does Anthony Rizzo keep catching foul ball, home run balls? And how many games is this guy going to?
I feel like this is like the second time the Cubs have had a 2016 reunion in the last 2 years.
Well, I mean, yeah, they can milk that thing.
Also, why is that his seat?
Bro. Well, Rizzo's a man of the people, and it's a tradition. I mean, Harry Carey used to do it, sit in the outfield, sit with the bleacher creatures. They're obviously famous for the bleachers and Wrigley. I know that Rizzo is like signed on as like a Cubs ambassador is like his new title. So like he's just kind of going around like being the Cubs guy and bringing the energy. He also was calling the home run derby, so he's become quite the public figure. You gotta love it. You do love Anthony Rizzo. He is a ball of energy and a fun guy to be around. Not that I've ever been around him. I'm sure he would love me if he wants to get a beer sometime. We go shot for shot, bro.
You want to invite him on?
Open invitation, Anthony Rizzo. Anytime you want to come on, talk some Cubs, drink some beers, go to the Wrigley Field bleachers and just kick it, man. And I'd probably mog the fuck out of him. Probably catch the home run ball and not miss it like a loser. Got to bring your glove next time, Buster. And we also got some great plays this weekend. Brandon Young, World Cup guy, kicks a ball to himself off the bat, comebacker off Altuve, kicks it, catches it. See ya. What a fucking play. Is that play of the year?
It's my favorite so far, I think.
He plays it way too cool too.
No, that's what you have to do. You got to pretend like that shit happens all the time. Also, did it
boom
hurt? It's gotta hurt, right? How fast is that ball coming up?
I don't know. Little Altuve, he can swing it hard. Boom, bing,
it's coming
bong,
bounce at least.
Easy peasy, all day. That's big league shit. And then this guy, Gabriel Rincones, gets a fly ball to right field. Can't see the ball. Sunglasses on top of his hat. What does he do? Thinks it quick on his feet. Puts the sunglasses on his face. Blocks the sun and catches the ball. That is also impressive. What is more impressive?
Oh, the kick.
The kick is more impressive. I want to see that play in real time.
However,
I only see the slow-mo version.
I got to be honest. Definitely someone's kicked the ball to themselves and throwing a runner out. I mean, I don't remember that happening, but I feel like it's got to happen. At least kick it to a fielder, to your shortstop, and then he gets one out. I don't remember ever seeing a guy make the adjustment in real time, sunglasses on the cap to sunglasses on the face, and catch the ball.
If he didn't catch the ball, very different clip.
Definitely. Would have been, in my opinion, maybe even a better clip.
Maybe, but he would have been like the dumbest guy in baseball. And instead, he's so cool, can't be bothered.
Whatever. Shout out to Gabriel Rincones.
What if those are Warby Parkers?
Probably some Warby Parkers. If I know, I mean, those only sunglasses I know that can block the sun that well are a pair of Warby Parkers.
Here's the full speed.
Good. I never saw this in full speed. So he's looking at the ball, can't see it. Oh, sunglasses, put them on. Boom. What yeah, I mean, if he got those jammed up on his face and he's trying to put them on and they're getting jammed up.
Poking his eye out.
Yeah.
Trying to get back up.
Shit. And then he takes them off.
Takes them right off.
Maybe stay ready, man, you know?
Yeah, you catch the ball, probably. Yeah. Sun is undefeated. So that's why you got the equipment. Another equipment story. Roki Sasaki's glove. So Roki Sasaki comes back from the All-Star break with a massive fucking glove.
Dude is wearing a slow pitch softball glove.
It's insane. You ever see those gloves that they were throwing out in the Derby for the guys in the outfield?
Yeah, the Geico ones.
He came back with a fucking Geico glove. This glove is massive, about twice the size of Roki Sasaki. So this is the story. Roki Sasaki, over 5 starts, gave up 22 earned runs. He had an 8.61 ERA. After giving up 6 earned runs against the Padres, Dave Roberts comes out. He says that they're concerned that Roki is tipping his pitches so that his wrist finger or his grips, he was giving them away. So the Dodgers did a deep dive into his mechanics and came up with a solution. The solution was to get a massive glove. Here's a side-by-side from second base. So the theory is that players at second base are picking up on his pitches. They can see his grip. As you can see here, A lot harder to pick up the grips when he's got it covered with a freaking mitt the size of a. How many cows do you think they had to kill for that shit?
I don't know.
At least 3.
He could catch a cold with that.
Roki Sasaki could catch a cold with that glove for real. So it works. First start back, 5 2/3 innings, 5K, 0 earned runs, shuts down the Yankees. Averaged 100 miles per hour on his fastball. So I don't know why a glove makes you throw faster, but it worked for Roki Sasaki. This guy touched 102 miles per hour. He threw 21 pitches, 100 mile per hour or faster. That is the most in Dodgers history by a single pitcher. Average fastball last season was 96, and he averaged 100 this year.
It's the extra weight, taking him to home plate, more momentum.
Baby, you're right. That's equilibrium.
Yeah.
Well, hey, things are looking up for Roki. So in April and May, he averaged 97 on his fastball. On Friday, he averaged 100 miles per hour. Great start back from Roki Sasaki, who I still believe in Roki. This is just another reason to believe.
He's like the ultimate babyface in MLB.
Yes, and he does cry like a little baby. I'm just playing.
Do you think he sleeps in his glove at night? Just curls up. Shohei rocks.
He gets in the glove to sleep, curls up.
He's so cute. I just imagine him doing cute shit.
He's a cute guy, man. We are rooting for Roki Sasaki. Another cute guy, Shohei Ohtani, might be cuter than anyone on earth. But you know what's not cute? His injury. Not Roki.
That was good.
Shohei Ohtani has been scratched for the second straight start. So his injury history this year, he dealt with the blister versus the Diamondbacks, dealt with it against the Pirates, dealt with that same blister against the Rays, was bleeding all over himself. Then he misses a game with knee inflammation, had to get a start pushed back for fatigue, then misses a start before the All-Star game, then misses the All-Star game to treat his knee, comes out after the All-Star break. They think he's going to pitch on Wednesday against the Phillies. Not anymore. They scratch him on Wednesday, and the Dodgers are saying that he will not pitch for the foreseeable future. Dave Roberts says it's not going to be a day-to-day thing, that he is down. Who knows for how long. You saw him banging on his knee in an at-bat versus the Yankees. This had people concerned because he's banging on his knee. I think he just has a knee brace on under there and he's adjusting it. So I'm going to debunk the conspiracy theories on there. That's obviously a knee brace issue. He's got a knee brace. He's just fixing it.
Yeah, otherwise, what do they think he's doing? Just shimmying his kneecap?
Relocating his kneecap?
He's banging his knee back into place.
Wiggling his meniscus?
Maybe he's a robot. Either way, drives in an RBI double anyway. Doesn't need a hit. However, there is a video of him running. Let's watch this video. Does he look a little slower here? You be the judge. I don't know. Looks a little...
He looked like he might have been favoring something a little bit.
Knees barking a little bit for Shohei. So he will no longer pitch. And the question is this something to be concerned about? Me personally, am I concerned about it? Mitchell, am I concerned?
I think you're a little concerned that it kills his Cy Young.
Well, I think that is what is happening here. So his Cy Young candidacy is officially over. And I think it was probably over. I mean, the chances were slim going into the All-Star break. Obviously, he's only pitching 1 day a week because of the two-way playing. You don't want to overuse Shohei, who's being used more than anybody on the planet. Already was going to be an uphill battle because he doesn't pitch as much as the other guys. You got Mizorowski, who's playing out of his mind. You got Christopher Sanchez, who's pitching out of his mind. You also got like Zach Wheeler, Chris Sale. You got a lot of guys in the NL right now who are pitching
higher up the list.
Yes, pitching amazingly. I think Shohei obviously was going for the Cy Young this year. Once you realize that you're not going to get it, the point of trying to risk any health at all in order to pitch a full season on the mound is just not worth it. Obviously, they need him for the playoffs. Obviously, they don't need him to get into the playoffs. The Dodgers right now already have 100% playoff odds. The Dodgers right now, they are up 11 and a half games up in the division right now. The Dodgers, I think, probably their odds of getting a first-round bye are what, 90%?
Just 90? I feel like it's 98 at least.
Yeah, so the Dodgers don't need Shohei to make the playoffs. They probably need Shohei or really want Shohei to win a World Series. And in order to do that, you need him to be pitching and hitting at full strength. And when you got blisters, you got fatigue, you're hitting and pitching at the same time, it's not worth pushing it. So in that respect, I'm not worried about it. Because I think that I don't think this is a really a serious. If it was really a serious injury, he probably wouldn't be hitting.
Yeah, it's not an arm issue.
It's not an arm issue. It's a knee issue. The Dodgers definitely got to be careful because he is coming off 2 Tommy Johns, but it does complicate things because he is going to be hitting every day. So if he's already taken 2 weeks off pitching. If he's going to take more weeks off pitching, it's like, I don't know. When do you think he's going to come back? If you had to guess.
I mean, I feel like with this much time off, he's going to have to like ramp back up. I don't know if they're going to do that in side sessions or like they did last year for his rehab. If they do it like last year for his rehab, I mean, it could be by the end of the month.
Yeah, it feels to me like I would not be surprised if he doesn't pitch till September. I'll be honest. I don't really expect to see Shohei pitching anytime soon. I think if I'm the Dodgers, you take it slow as fuck. You're getting Snell's taking rehab starts, right? Snell and Glasgow haven't pitched in a while, but they're also both coming back. They're probably also doing the same strategy with those guys where it's like, bro, there's no reason to put any risk whatsoever until the playoffs. And my prediction is he comes back in September, throws 3 innings, makes another start in September, throws 4 innings, makes 2 full starts, maybe 6 innings, and do what you did last year. You rehab in the majors. And by the time you get to the playoffs, you're at full strength and you're a little rested. And the knee feels better and everyone's happy. And you make history and you strike out 27 guys and you hit 14 home runs in 1 game and you win your 3rd straight World Series. That's the plan. And I think it might happen. But either way, the Dodgers are looking good. But the Red Sox are looking better. So the Red Sox are hot. But the story with the Red Sox is not only that they are hot, it's that Jarren Duran threatened to kill someone. No, he didn't. Sorry, I take that back. But Jarren Duran did threaten another fan. This fan, it was not just a fan. He's also a person in the media, Tyler Milliken. He called him a fat fuck. Why would you call Tyler Milliken a fat fuck? That's Tyler Milliken of the Section 10 podcast. Great guy, funny guy, beast guy. You call him a fat fuck. And this is not the first time that Jarren Duran has got into it with fans. But before we get to that, we will have to do a brand deal real quick. If you guys are aware, this is a podcast that is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek, baby. This is the best live ticketing app on the planet, baby. Over 35 million downloads with SeatGeek, the #1 rated ticketing app on the planet. Over 70,000 events are listed on SeatGeek. That includes concerts, sports, festivals, and more. Maybe see a play. What's your favorite play, Mitchell?
I have none.
You're a fucking liar. You're a play guy, dude.
I'm really not.
You're a play guy, bro. You brought up Hamilton. Remember when you said, Jack, remember he referenced the Hamilton guy?
And
you
he
don't know him?
Because as soon as we ended the podcast, he sang every song for Hamilton word for word without skipping a beat, which was like...
No, I'm really not a play guy.
Okay. All right, we'll take your word for it. But are you a baseball guy?
I am a baseball guy. I'm going to a bunch of baseball games this week, actually.
Let's go. MLB's in full swing. The NFL schedule is out and the World Cup is over, so don't even try it. But for other things, you can use SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the official ticketing marketplace for MLB. That means your tickets are fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled on your account after purchase. I love using SeatGeek. I use that bitch all the time. I saw the Yankees and Nationals play 2 weeks ago, last weekend.
Right before the All-Star break.
Right before the All-Star break. I had to see it live in person. Boy, did it deliver. They show up on your app on your phone and you scrolling. That's not, I was supposed to, never mind. Anyway.
I have it up if you want.
SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. You're not going to get ripped off. If you stay to the green, you're going to get a good deal, baby. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And of course, I got a code for you. This is a great code. PDE10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. You don't have to be a first-time user. Anyone on earth can use this code. PDE10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any tickets with promo code PDE10. So make sure you click the link in the description, download the app, and have the code automatically applied to your account so you can use it later. So you don't have to do it right now, but if you click the link and you download the app, that is going to be in your thing and you can use it later. So make sure you go there, go to SeatGeek, use code PDE10 for 10% off. Do it right now. Thank you, SeatGeek. Okay, y'all. So Jarren Duran, this guy has a history of, he's a what's the word I'm looking for? He's a spirited man. He plays with emotion. All right, he plays with emotion on his sleeve. Sometimes you know what he does? He gets pissed off, dude. And sometimes when you get pissed off, you do some shit. Like in 2022, he lost the ball in the sun, misses the catch, then tries to make another catch, starts arguing with the fan in the outfield in Kansas City, has to be restrained by Alex Verdugo. August 2024, a fan is yelling at him in the box. He calls him the F slur. That's a no-no. Gets suspended, has to apologize later because it gets picked up on the broadcast. 2025, goes after a fan in Cleveland in between innings. 2026, he flips off a fan after grounding out. He tells the media that fan told him to kill himself. Also in June, he got into it with another fan this June at a Yankees game. There's no footage of that, but we got, 5 examples of him going after fans? You know what I'm saying? This is a trend with Mr. Duran. So 2 seasons ago, this guy was 8th in MVP voting, was an All-Star, won All-Star Game MVP. But he struggled in 2025. His OPS dropped below 700. His team had fallen below 500. They were out of a playoff spot. This was after the Red Sox traded Devers, and everyone in Boston was like, get this guy the hell out of here. Get everybody out of here. There was a big call to get Jarren Duran off the team. Many fans wanted him traded. He went on the Section 10 podcast at this time. It is a Red Sox podcast. According to one of the co-hosts, Tyler Milliken, Duran came on. They had a great time. They were friendly. They talked about his time in Boston, his controversies. They even hung out after. I remember this happening because, I think this kind of put Duran in a lot of ways in good graces with the Red Sox fans. He comes on this podcast, is honest about his struggles, honest about the team struggles, honest about how he sometimes, he gets a little mad. He calls people out. You know what? It's his intensity, right? So it was a good podcast. It helped his image. One of the co-hosts, Tyler Milliken, he ended up posting a picture of Duran after he flipped off a fan in Minnesota. So after he flips off the fan in Minnesota, this guy posts a picture of it. He then goes on to text another co-host, Jared Carabas, calling him a fat fuck, says Milliken is a fat fuck, and if I ever saw him, I would beat the fuck out of him. That is according to Milliken, that Duran said this to him because he posted the picture of him. Now, that is a little rude. So a lot of people are calling Duran a bad guy, and this year, he's not playing good. He's playing like a bad guy, batting 191 with a 597 OPS, second worst OPS in baseball for qualified hitters, second lowest average in baseball, and third lowest on base percentage. So Duran, little testy with the media at the moment. However, the Red Sox, they don't seem to need Duran. So 3 weeks ago, their playoff odds were at 8.4%. At that point, they had the worst offense in the league, dead last in runs scored. They were 14 games under 500, had the worst record in the American League. Today, the Red Sox are officially a playoff team. The Boston Red Sox have won 13 games in a row. They come out of the All-Star break, have to play the first place Rays. Tough matchup against Jack's Rays. Beat them 10-0 in the first game of a doubleheader. In the game 2, Wilyer. I always say Wilner, but it's Wilyer.
It's Wilyer.
Wilyer. Like your Mercedes. Like your mamacha. Like your mom. Wilyer Mom Abreu. Wilyer Abreu comes up in the third inning. In game 2, Wilyer Abreu. I'm not going to get that name right, bro. I think that's my kryptonite. It's the one name I can't get. Wilyer Abreu.
Not an
The
Elliot.
one.
Elliot Ramos also always trips you up on the Giants.
Elio. What is
Elliot.
it? Elliot?
It's just Elliot.
It's Elio. Bro, it's Elio. And this is Wilyer. Wilyer, bro. Easy. Sorry, Mr. Abreu. So game 2, Wilyer Abreu hits a first inning bomb to tie the game at 2, right? So ties the game in the second inning. Comes up again in the third, gives the Red Sox a lead, another bomb. Great job. Ends up being the game-winning home run for the Red Sox to win the second game of the series. The very next day, Red Sox are tied 2-2 again. Wilyer Abreu comes up, and once again, bomb. Third home run in 2 days. Gives the Red Sox the lead. Unfortunately, they blow the lead. The Rays get to Patrick Sandoval. They put up 4 unanswered runs against the Red Sox. They take a 1-run lead into the 7th inning. But guess who comes up again? Wilyer Abreu comes up again, hits a go-ahead home run in the 7th. Boom. That's his second home run of the game. Second 2-run home run game in 2 games. The 4th game tying or go-ahead home run in 2 days. The guy puts the fucking team on his back, carries the Red Sox to their 12th straight win, and on Sunday, they win again. So that is their 13th straight win. They sweep the Rays. They get into a playoff spot. Mind you, they have the second best run differential in baseball right now, and that is without Roman Anthony and without Garrett Crochet, their 2 best players. They sweep the best team in the American League. They win 13 games in a row, and in 3 weeks, they go from having an 8% chance to make the playoffs to right now, the Red Sox, the Boston Red Sox, who used to be the Red Sox, have a 58% chance to make the playoffs. So literally, I mean, it's not just 3 weeks. It is in 1, 2, 3 games. This 3-game sweep put them from 40% odds to 59% odds. That is a 19% increase in playoff odds. Somehow their odds went down today. They lost 0.5 playoff odds, even though no one played a game.
Fangraphs projections took a nap and then went, maybe we'll knock them down a couple points.
Well, my prediction is they'll go back up because they finna win again, bro. The Red Sox are unbeatable right now. And honestly, bro,
I don't know if they're ever gonna lose again.
I mean, they're a good team, bro. They play like shit all year. They really, you really wanted to say they were done for because they fired their entire coaching staff. They fired their manager. They had problems in the clubhouse. It seemed like a lot of the team wanted them to keep the manager and then was mad at the front office when they fired him. Turns out they're better without him. Chad Tracy has done a great job so far since taking over, and they are a playoff team. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make the playoffs. I mean, really, if you had to put the Red Sox, rank them in AL teams, where would you put them in the AL right now?
5th?
5th best AL team. Who do you think is better than the Red Sox?
Rays, Yankees. I'm gonna go White Sox over Red Sox.
White Sox over Red Sox. Wow.
But then, I think I like the Red Sox better than the Guardians, so I'm gonna change that to 4th.
So they're 50-48. 2 games above 500. 6 games back of first place. Is the AL East over?
We thought the AL East was over.
I mean, I guess it was never over. It was always the Rays and Yankees are in it, but the Red Sox are definitely in it now. I would not be surprised. They just butt smacked the Yankees in a 4-game series, swept them. And they got Roman Anthony coming back, and they got Garrett Crochet coming back. So who's to say that this isn't the best team in the AL?
I mean, I wouldn't expect Roman Anthony back. The last thing I saw, he wasn't swinging a bat yet.
Okay, well, guess what? He's gonna start swinging. He's coming back. I'll put my cat on that.
Your cat's life, or just your?
I'll
cat?
put my cat's life on that, bro.
You have a cat?
Well, my cat passed away in 2023, so it's a little bet you can do. It's like a little bet you can do
Playing
that
with house money.
Yeah, cat's already dead. So win or lose, you already lost. The cat's dead, but you win. It's a win-win anyway. So if I win, the cat comes back. If I lose, whatever. We were back.
Did you put a bet on your cat in 2023? Is that what happened?
No, don't even joke around. You're blaming me for my cat's death. Bro. Mitchell has no boundaries, this guy.
Dude, you're the worst guy since Jaron Duran, man.
Me and Jaron up here. Or down there, I guess.
I meant Joey.
Wait, we're both fucking all-stars. Is that what you mean?
You're both JDs.
Hot Jack guys who are rich and are all-stars? Yeah.
Hot Jack guys.
Me and Jaron Duran. Pretty fucking sick. I'm on his side in this whole situation. These fucking Boston bloggers need to shut the fuck up and let the man play. Let the man play, bro. First place Red Sox. take a lead over the Rays, who have lost 5 in a row, dude. Jack's teams are on a fucking combined 9-game losing streak, bro. No, it's worse. 11-game losing streak for the Florida teams. That sucks. But do not sleep on the Baltimore Orioles, who have won 7 games in a row with a negative 13 run differential. We have definitely slept on the Orioles this year. But I was looking at today, the Orioles, their downside is definitely being their pitching. And I haven't did a deep dive, but if you look at right now, they're 15th in starting pitching ERA. So I guarantee you this 7-game win streak has a lot to do with their pitching staff getting healthy, or at least just pitching better. They locked up one pitcher. Bradish. Kyle Bradish you're an Oriole for life, brother. He signs a big deal with the Orioles, who are on a big win streak. Are the Orioles in a playoff spot right now? 2 games back of a wild card spot with the Orioles, but do not sleep on the Orioles. Shout out to the Orioles. Great job.
And I did not realize that they had a 7-game winning streak.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Guess who they play next, though?
Who? The Red Sox.
Red Sox,
Orioles. This is going to be a big series. Combined 20-game win streak between these two teams are going head-to-head to see who's going to be third place in the AL East. This is in Baltimore, right?
Do we need to go to Baltimore?
Might have to do a field trip. Seat Geek. Come on, brother. Let's sit in the splash zone. Hey, you never know. Maybe I'll be out there in Baltimore. So shout out to those two teams. Another big story in MLB this week, there's a crackdown. So they cracked down on the iPads in MLB. So as everyone's seen it, if you go watch an MLB game, you'll see these little guys on their little iPads in there looking at their stats or whatever. Who knows what the fuck they're looking at? They're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, whatever they are. They're on their iPads. So across the league, there's been a crackdown. Some front offices around the league have been notified that they're banning their apps. So according to Eno Saris in his article, these teams, they were making custom apps within the iPads. So at first, MLB, once they started letting people use iPads, they let you use iPads in the dugout, but they're MLB controlled iPads, and you're only allowed to download certain things. You're not allowed to download anything that's not MLB approved. The iPods are basically locked, and you can basically are able to watch your last at bat. You're able to watch old pitch sequences. You're basically able to watch replays on it. I guess they loosened the restrictions a little bit, and MLB teams were allowed to create like custom apps, and a lot of teams started creating like these custom apps that were using generative artificial intelligence. This would help out with substitutions, pitch callings, other in-game decisions. They're basically replacing managers with iPads, it sounds like. So they're the third tab, it's known across the league as the custom tab. And this custom tab, what would you do if you had a custom tab?
Minesweeper
In there?
This whole thing does remind me of when you were a kid and you had like the TI calculators and you found out that they had like Centipede on it, or Snake, whatever that game was. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then teachers are like, you can't play the games. This is what's going on.
You're like, bitch, get with the times. This is technology, bro.
I put it on here for a reason. It's math.
Come on, bro. Well, that's actually not allowed to. You're not allowed to play any games in the dugout, and now you're not allowed to have any generative AI. I guess what a lot of teams were doing was pitch calling. So this is a new trend in MLB. A lot of teams, instead of having a catcher call the pitches, which has been done in MLB throughout history, a lot of teams now, and this is a trend started by the Marlins, are calling pitches from their dugout. So the manager is telling the pitcher what pitch to call. The manager or someone in the dugout is telling the catcher what pitch to tell the pitcher to pitch. But now with this AI stuff, they can basically put all the data and see, okay, this pitch is doing great. We got to throw this pitch more. This batter hits this well against this pitch and this pitch against this pitch, and he doesn't hit this pitch against this batter that well, so we're going to call this pitch based on the data. All this data can be put in. A human brain cannot make these calculations so fast. This data can do it so fast, this basically turned into robot ball. So I guess these people, these iPads, were telling them what pitch to throw. Not anymore. So we'll see what that's going to do to these teams. According to Adam Ottavino, The Mets were the main team that got cracked down for it. They had an AI program helping them pick pitches. MLB got wind of it and shut it down, which is interesting, man.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't pitchers wear pitch-com earpieces?
They
Pitchers are wearing earpieces, right?
They are.
They
It's
do.
in their hat. If you ever look at
What?
a pitcher and they've got a little bit of a thing in their hat, that's the pitch com.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
So when the pitcher presses a button, they hear in the ear, fastball, outside, slider, inside, slider, down and away.
I feel really stupid because I don't know how I thought they were doing it in the past. I thought it was all hand signals.
No, they got rid of the hand signals for the most part. They did it with the pitch comm to prevent sign stealing. And I guess they're kind of worried that this could be used for cheating in some way, or they're worried it's going to become too robotic. Like if every single pitch is called by a robot, I guess that could be bad.
So this right here, Jack, by his logo, that's the pitch com device. So that's like the thing that they're hearing the pitch through.
That's fascinating.
It is funny though that like the Mets were the team that got cracked down on it, and it's not like the Mets have had a fantastic pitching year. They're 16th, I think, in ERA. They have a 4.23 ERA as a team. Some of their guys have like vastly underperformed. Guys like Freddie Peralta, Kodai Senga, even Nolan McLean. I mean, he came into this year as like a sneaky Cy Young candidate, and he's been good.
Hey, so this memo came out on June 11th. Ever since June 11th, the Mets are 13-20. So maybe this has killed the Mets, bro.
June 11?
June 11th. Who's got the worst team ERA since June 11th?
That would be the A's. But the Mets are worse. 4.95 ERA since June 11.
The A's have the worst record since June 11th, and they have a 6.95 ERA since June 11th, and they just fired their pitching coach.
Do you think they were in Sacramento on the iPads telling the pitchers what to throw?
I don't know. It's interesting. They're cracking down on it. I wonder how this would affect. I mean, because that is a trend, bro. I mean, everyone's calling pitches from the dugout. It seems like inevitably, but within a few years, every team is going to be calling pitches from the dugout, and it's going to be an algorithm that is deciding what is the best random code or whatever. I don't know. Like what goes into that?
How old were we when like they started wearing the armbands to like decide on what pitches to throw? When I was a kid at first, they didn't have those armbands, and then
Well, who's using that in MLB though?
I mean, yeah, when Tyler Flowers catched for the Braves, he had that massive armband and they're flipping through
Yeah, I
it.
wonder what the fuck was on that. They do that in college like crazy. I feel like that was for like, I don't know what that was for. Scouting reports. I mean, you're allowed to have scouting reports on the iPad. That's what the iPads are for. What they want to get rid of is like having decisions being made in real time and taking data from the real game that is being calculated on the computer that is AI decisions. But couldn't you just have a guy in the clubhouse making those decisions? Like, you're not going to be able to get rid of all this shit.
I bet it was just making faster trend, like recognitions of trends on the fly. Like if Nolan McLean's curveball isn't spinning as much on this particular day, maybe the catcher and the pitcher are picking up that, nah, my stuff's not as good as normal. But then the AI was going, his spin rate's down like 500 RPM. He's missing the zone 12% more than average on these pitches. Maybe he should not throw the curveball.
Yeah. However, I don't even know if that's really what they're trying to prevent. I would guess that there's like worries about other things that could be unfair. Like you're like tracking a pitcher's movements somehow. You have a custom app that can pitch tip that you can tell if he's throwing this on this point or the percentage on this. I don't know. Either way, we don't know. Hopefully they don't use too much AI and break the game. That's what we're going to hope for. But they're cracking down on the iPads. No more iPads, kids. I still don't have an iPad. I never had an iPad, and I refuse to get an iPad. Now that MLB says that I can't have an iPad in the dugout, I'm not going to use an iPad at all. But that's all for the week. Let's do the first half review, man. It's been a great first half. Clap it up for the first half. Lot of ups, a lot of downs. What is your favorite story of the first half, Mitchell?
Man, put me on the spot. I think non-Braves related, right? I mean, Braves from the start of the season. Dominic Smith, grand slam, second game of the season. That was pretty awesome.
That's great.
Jacob Mizorowski being the best pitcher in baseball. That was pretty fun. League wide, we have the Tarps Off movement. That I'm still surprised how strong that's going.
Tarps Off movement is spreading like wildfire, bro. But the first half is over. The second half is among us.
What was your favorite moment?
I don't have a favorite moment. They're all my favorite moment.
Each moment's a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Those are what stick out to me. The White Sox were fun.
America's team.
White Sox broadcast, J-Miz throwing 104. Cone heads. Tarps off.
I forgot about the traffic cones, yeah.
I completely forgot about the traffic cones. I have to make
These
some
are things that stick
adjustments
out
on
to
the
me
fly.
as like a non-baseball head. These are the things that stick out to me.
Well, a lot of great stories, a lot of big decisions for each team. Who's going to get traded? Is it time to sell if you're the Reds? Is it time to buy? Are you going to trade Scooble? Is your team going to buy at the deadline? Is your team going to sell at the deadline? Does your team have a chance at the World Series? Does your team even have a chance at the playoffs? Is your team an embarrassment, or is your team one of the best in the world? Will your team go all the way? It can only be one. But a first half, what's the best way to predict the second half? Is to recap the first half. And that's what we will do right now. I would say my favorite moment, I guess the biggest story of the first half, got to be Tarps Off. Tarps Off. I mean, that shit has spread like wildfire. If you remember correctly, it started with a bunch of shirtless guys in Busch Stadium. They electrified the Cardinals. When was that? May or April?
The first one was in April. Then no one caught on. Then the Cardinals did it again in May.
It was barely even warm enough to have your tarp off when the tarp off section started. Now it's tarps off weather, and you see it everywhere. Originally, it electrified the Cardinals, created a citywide phenomenon, bro. These guys, they weren't even Cardinals fans, if you remember correctly. It was a small group of 16 shirtless guys showed up in a section in right field. The shirtless section grew up to 4 sections, 200 plus shirtless guys in 4 different sections. Cardinals had a walk-off in the bottom of the 11th. The guys who started it were not Cardinals fans. They were fucking they were from Texas. They were there for SF Austin. They were in the area to play their college club baseball tournament, went to a Cardinals game, took their shirts off, started waving them, caused the Cardinals to have a walk-off. Then the next day, Ollie Marmol, the manager of the team, bought 3 entire sections so they could come back the next day. And he had 3 entire sections of a bunch of shirtless bros waving their shirts around. Free tickets, no shirts, sold off immediately. On Saturday, 700 plus shirtless guys showed up. Cardinals win again, and the rest was history. They let these guys in the clubhouse. They started doing Tarps Off in the clubhouse. Let them do a fucking first pitch on Monday. A few days later, the Rays had a Tarps Off section. Then in Washington, they had a Tarps Off section. In Seattle, and Detroit, and Philadelphia, they had a Tarps Off section. At Angel Stadium, they did a Tarps Off section, started chanting, "Sell the team," and already sucks. That's disrespectful. The Marlins had one. Milwaukee had one. They were trying to shut it down in Miami and in Milwaukee. Couldn't stop it. They were doing it in Philly in the rain. The Twins, the Red Sox, the Orioles, the Diablos Rojas de Mexico. This went to Mexico, motherfuckers. This shit is worldwide, bro. Everywhere. Atlanta, everywhere. PCA came to the plate. They were chanting overrated at him. He hit a home run into the Tarps Off section. Tarps Off section in Washington was chanting fuck Bryce Harper. He hit a home run and flicked them off with his ring finger. It was electric. It was electric Tarps Off, and it all started with the Cardinals. So the Cardinals, the Tarps Off team, now they have the biggest Tarps Off section. Now, that's actually arguable right now, but they have the most official Tarps Off section. They have that one section that has been Tarps Off all year, and they've been probably the biggest surprise in baseball, at least one of them. So they came into the season with 9.1% playoff odds. Not the biggest, because the White Sox got to be the biggest, but they're maybe second biggest. Picked to finish last in the NL Central, currently 4 games over 500 and are in a playoff spot. Their rotation right now, listen to this, the starting rotation of the Cardinals: Michael McGreevy, Andre Palente, Dustin May, Matthew Liberatore, and Kyle Leahy. Bunch of fucking nobodies, and they rank 10th in MLB and starting pitching. So give it up for the Cardinals, who we really did not think they were going to be good at all this year. Also, second youngest roster in MLB. Average age, I think, is 27 or something. They don't have a single position player over 30. Let that sink in. And the one guy who's been the biggest guy, we already talked about him, the home run derby champion, Jordan Walker. Another guy came out of fucking nowhere. This guy used to be a highly touted prospect, fourth best prospect in baseball. That was 2023. As a 20-year-old, he made his MLB debut and had a great rookie year, 113 OPS plus. 2024 sucked, had to go to the minors, negative WAR in 2024. 2025, even worse. Finished the season with a 66 OPS plus and a negative 1.3 WAR. Spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. Over that 2-year stretch, he was the 5th worst player in baseball by FWAR. He was struggling so much in spring training this year, he was benched. He got benched in spring training, bro.
That's rough.
You got to be a dumb bitch sorry, you're not a dumb bitch. You just, you're trying to get your feet under you. What are you going to do, right? If it's hot. Either way, we did not think Jordan Walker, who I got to be honest with you, if you look at pictures of Jordan Walker, I swear this guy's aged like 10 years in 3 seasons. He looks like 35 years old.
I think he looked old as a minor leaguer.
He looks old as fuck, bruh. And
my fiance was like, "How old is this guy? 35?" And I was like,
I think he looks great for 44.
It's got to be the Fu Manchu. You don't see a young guy. How old is he? He's 24?
Yeah, 24.
You don't see a young guy rocking that facial hair, but he is doing it and he's pulling it off, bro.
He's got what was that Bernie Mac movie, Mr. 3000?
That's right, Mr.
He's got that vibe, doesn't he? At least at the home run derby he did.
I have not seen. He's got a Bernie Mac vibe. Wasn't he like a piece of shit, fat alcoholic?
The character?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was like a star baseball player who came back after retirement. He's kind of like a Sammy Sosa character.
So
almost.
He's coming back. He is coming out of retirement. 2 years, he was basically retired. Had a negative 1.3 FWAR. I think worse than that. His first 3 seasons, Jordan Walker's WAR I think was negative. What was it? Negative 2.6. Negative 2.6. Not good. But boys, this year, unbelievable, bruh. At the All-Star break, 22 home runs, made the All-Star team, won the home run derby, second in the team with 3.7 B-WAR. So he has infinity more WAR this season than he has in his previous 3 seasons combined.
Yeah, so his career FWAR right now, or B-WAR, is 1.1. His career B-WAR. And he's had a 3.7 B-WAR season.
There you go. Don't call it a comeback. Jordan Walker has arrived. Also got J.J. Weatherholt, leads rookies in WAR in the National League.
Wasn't an all-star, though. Crazy.
Controversial. Ozzy Albies, he deserved it. Could be Rookie of the Year. Leads the team in B-WAR with the 4. They currently have a 26.4% playoff odds for the Cardinals. Do you like the Cardinals' chances, Mitchell? Do you think they buy? That is actually probably the better question to ask.
I don't think they sell. I think the Cardinals management is in this weird stage where they didn't expect to be good. They sold a bunch of players off last year. I bet they signed guys like Dustin May expecting to trade them at the deadline. Now, I don't think they trade anyone. It's just a matter of how much will management want to bring in.
Yeah, it seems like they were gearing for a rebuilding season, and they got a competitive season as it stands right now. They're not in a playoff spot as it stands at the moment, right?
No. Yes.
They are.
There's like a technical tie, but I think they have the tiebreaker.
Yeah, they're tied with the Marlins and the Pirates for the 3rd wild card spot. It's probably going to go down the wire. I do not expect them to make any massive moves at the deadline. I'm probably happy where they're at right now. Don't want to overextend themselves, and I don't know who they would trade for. It's actually their biggest surprise is the starting staff, how they are 10th in ERA with the guys they got, because I think that was probably the biggest concern going into the season. But they got the all-star closer now, Riley O'Brien. We slept on him. We weren't familiar with his game, and he's a beast. So shout out to the Cardinals, who are trailing the Cubbies. Right behind the Cubbies. Well, they got a little bit of a gap between them and the Cubbies, but the Cubbies are right in front of them in 2nd place. The Cubs have had a fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Schizophrenic season. completely schizophrenic. The Cubs, they're hot and they're cold. They're yes, they're no, they're up and they're down. They're up. They're everywhere, bro. Started off 7-9. We're in last place. Then won 10 in a row, got to first place. Then lost 3 in a row, fell to second place. Then won 10 more games in a row, won 20 of 23 games, got into first place, had the best record in baseball, then ended up losing 22 of their next 29 games. So they lost 10 in a row. That's 2 10-game winning streaks in the first month, and then 3 10-game streaks in the first 2 months. They fell to 4th in the NL Central and were out of a playoff spot. Playoff odds went down to 35% at one point. During the stretch, PCA told a woman to suck his dick in the outfield. Told another fan he was going to beat him up in the crowd. Got booed relentlessly at Dodger Stadium after he said he didn't like Dodgers fans. But since June 11th, or July 11th, sorry, June 11th. Is it June? July. Gonna have to make a call here because I spelled Jewel. So that is
That would be June.
Since June 11th, he's batting .346 with a 1,149 OPS, and he leads the league in WAR right now. So PCA is giving Shohei Ohtani a running for the NL MVP. A lot of that has to do with defense, but he's brought the Cubs back from the dead. I wouldn't say they were ever dead, but losing 22 of 29 games was terrible, bro. They couldn't do shit. So from April 14th to April 8th, they had the best record in baseball. From May 9th to June 10th, they had the worst record in baseball. And from June 11th to today, they are 22-9, second best record in baseball. Currently the second best team in the NL Central, first in the wild card standings, have an 80.6 chance to make the playoffs. And right now, I guess their weakness, you would say, would be their pitching staff. So Ben Brown, Edward Cabrera, Cade Horton, Justin Steele, and Jameson Taillon on the IL. They are 20th in starters ERA. So if there's a team who's in the market for a starter, that would be the Cubs. And I mean, is Scooble on the market? Who's on the market right now for starters?
There's like 4 teams that are completely out of it. And it's like Michael Wacha might be the biggest name on the teams that have available starters. It's going to be really hard to figure out who's available and who's not. I feel like Tarek Skubal at this very moment, not on the market.
I think no way they trade Tarek Skubal.
In like 2 weeks, maybe he gets traded.
A lot of people think that would be a big mistake not to trade him, but I just don't expect them to do that at all. But, I mean, if you're the Cubs, that's what you need. What would you do if you're the Cubs?
But you got to buy if you're the Cubs.
Buy what?
Got to buy players, pitching. It's gonna be definitely a seller's market. Like the sellers the 4 sellers that exist on the market right now have a lot of leverage.
Yeah, I mean they're all their starters basically have an ERA either 4 or higher. Shota Imanaga has been, I think, another guy hot and cold. Colin Ray negative WAR out of the starting pitching staff. Matthew Boyd and Javier Assad both with 4.11 and a 4.15 ERAs. So they're gonna have to do better at pitching if they're gonna want to take a shot at the big bad Brewers, or fend off the Pirates. The Pirates have the best offense in baseball, and that might be the biggest surprise in baseball because last year they had the worst offense in baseball, and this year they have the best offense in baseball. And you want to ask why do they have the best offense in baseball? And honestly, I couldn't fucking tell you. Like, who's the best Pirates hitter right now?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Brian Reynolds.
That's what I said, right?
Didn't you say Ryan Reynolds?
I don't.
Last week he definitely said Ryan Reynolds.
Brian and Ryan sound alike. Maybe you guys need to get your ears checked.
Whoa.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they have 7 hitters out of 9 who have OPS pluses over league average, which has got to be some types of fucking record. The problem with that, though, is that 3 of them are hurt right now. So O'Neal Cruz on the 60-day IL. Damn, I didn't know he was that hurt. O'Neal Cruz on the 60-day IL. Connor Griffin's on the 60-day IL and 60-day IL, and Spencer Horwitz on the 10-day IL. So they are not healthy in the lineup. Doesn't matter because they have the best offense in baseball. Do they still have the best offense in baseball, or that last?
They ended the first half with the best offense in baseball, but as of today, they they're 12 runs behind the Nationals. The Nationals did get to play in Sacramento this weekend, so that kind of gave them a big lead.
That's not fair.
That doesn't count.
That's not fair for the Pirates.
But the Pirates still have 16 more runs scored than the Dodgers, who are third.
Before the season, if I told you that the Pittsburgh Pirates would have a better offense than the Los Angeles Dodgers, what would you say? You would take my clothes off, light me on fire, and throw me into the frickin' Allegheny River.
Why would they take your clothes off?
I feel like the clothes on might be easier to burn.
No, they would take my clothes off and burn me, throw me in the Allegheny, and
Tarps off, maybe, but pants?
I said, tarps off, brother.
They're taking you all the way to Pittsburgh when they could just throw you in the Potomac?
Take me to the Allegheny, brother. Because they said there's no what kind of witchcraft would let the Pirates have the best offense in baseball. If they would have said they had the best pitching staff in baseball, they might have believed you. Paul Skeens, Bubba Chandler, Jared Jones. Of the pitching staff, that's kind of been the weakness. 12th in starters ERA, not terrible, but I mean, if they were pitching like they should have been pitching, this could be a first place team. So even with the best offense in baseball, they are in fourth place, tied with the Cardinals. 4 games above 500. They are tied for the last wild card spot, so a playoff team, technically. Maybe they can get behind the cones. Maybe.
Are you saying they don't have enough cones?
I think we need to get a little bit more cones. Is there any other explanation how they can have the best offense in baseball if it wasn't for the cones?
No, I looked
Juice
it up.
ball?
Going into the game with the cones, they were like, it was early in the season, first week of baseball, right? But they were 23rd in runs scored.
23rd?
And then they hoisted the cones, and then they had the best offense in baseball.
What did the shirt say?
It said hoist the cones when it should have said hoist the colors.
Okay, so Fanatics was put out some T-shirts to get Pirates fans excited. They were supposed to say hoist the colors, misprinted it, and started printing out hoist the cone shirts. No one knew what the fuck that meant. So the Pirates ran with it and just started putting cones on their head. They went on a big offensive streak in the first week of the season. Then the whole city just adopted the cones. The city of Pittsburgh had to put out a PSA saying that you got to stop stealing cones because there was a shortage of traffic cones in Pittsburgh because everybody going to the games was just stealing them all the time. And there you go. The rest is history. They're the best offense in baseball. Ryan Reynolds leads the team in WAR, 2.9. Pirates, very close to being America's team. They're on watch. Because if they get hot right here, if the Pirates went on a 13-game win streak like the Red Sox are doing right now, it's over. I'd move to Pittsburgh.
We're driving up to Pittsburgh to watch.
I love Pittsburgh, bro. I went for fucking 3 hours. I've been to Pittsburgh twice, probably for a total awake
Of 8 hours?
Spent 10 hours there. And I got to say, I like the fucking vibe, bro. And I like the way it looks. And I think it's a very visually appealing city. That smells terrible. I'm joking. It didn't smell at all. I was just trying to give, you know.
Put them in their place.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Can't make them a top tier city. You know, you got to make them a B tier city.
They're B tier city. But shout out to Pittsburgh, Penisvalia. One of the best
B-tier cities.
Baseball towns in Pittsburgh. I'm Pennsylvania, sorry. Anyway, as good as they are, they're not as good as the Brewers. The Brewers, best record in the NL Central, second best record in the NL, second best run differential in the NL, and they got the best pitcher in baseball right now, Jacob Misiorowski, who that's Jack's biggest storyline of the year. What do you like about Misiorowski, Jack?
I like the awkward pitching. I like that people were judging him at first. So they're like, this guy's weird. And then all of a sudden, like last season, we were like, this guy's a star. And he was doing well last season. But I feel like this season, now you're like, the unorthodox pitching coming to light, you know?
He has definitely become a star. Last year he was a star. Now he's a shooting star.
Woo.
1.62 ERA leads the league. 167 strikeouts leads the league. 259 ERA plus leads the league. 2.09 FIP leads the league. 0.757 WHIP leads the league. 4.6 hits per nine leads the league. 13.5 strikeouts leads the league. 6.19 strikeout per walk, leads the freaking league. He was an all-star, should have been the all-star game starting pitcher, but has arm fatigue. So that's the one thing you're worried about with the Brewers is that he does have a little bit of an injury, but is it a real injury, Mitchell? What do they got on that?
We didn't start out of the break, but he's still scheduled to start this week.
To me, it seems like it's more of like they're trying to rein him in. Don't want his pitch count doesn't want his innings to get up too high, so they're resting him a little bit. I wouldn't say there's too much concern over there. He has the 187 fastest pitches thrown by a starter this year are by him, and 297 of the 300 fastest pitches all season are by Jacob Misiorowski. Breaks the record for a starting pitcher and throws one 105.5 miles per hour. Not fucking bad. And he's a beast. He had a 5-game win streak of 8 Ks or more, 0 extra base hits allowed in May.
And no pitcher had ever done that before.
Pretty insane. Pretty insane. They also have Abner Uribe, who's also throws 100 fucking miles per hour. Remember when he did the crotch grab celebration?
Most iconic moment of the first half, maybe.
According to this manager, this was unacceptable and he was embarrassed by it, but Abner Uribe doesn't give a fuck. He, what is the name of the celebration? It's a wrestling move, Jack, when you do this.
A crotch chop?
He did a crotch chop.
That sounds right. I think I'm making that up.
He did a crotch chop. And who's going to fucking stop him, dude? Uribe's a beast.
The best part of this clip is that Burleson challenged the pitch. And it missed by like 1/10 of an inch. So we were like 1/10 of an inch between this celebration being basically recalled.
They can't do it. Abner Uribe, named after Abner Doubleday himself. 2.43 ERA for Abner Uribe. The Brewers, who have scored the 4th most runs in baseball, have the 2nd best starting pitching staff in baseball by ERA and the 4th best relief staff by ERA. Just an all-around great first half for the Brewers. And I doubt, knowing the Brewers, that they really add much at the deadline. This is kind of just how they operate. They keep it light. They keep it tight. They don't make any big moves, but they have a great organization, and they're just going to be good all year, and they're going to...
losing the NLDS like they always do.
Probably what's going to happen. But, all these guys, I will be honest, bro. All these guys, it's like, every year you kind of look at the Brewers like they don't have a lot of star power, right? But I feel like this season, unlike past seasons, they've returned the same players. They have a young core this time. It's not like they're recycling guys. I mean, Bryce Terang, he's a damn near MVP level player right now, 3.5 WAR on the season. Garrett Mitchell, 2.2 WAR. He's been their 2nd best player. Jackson Chourio, who missed the first month of the season, has a 124 WRC plus. He's hit the shit out of the ball. William Contreras, he hits the shit out of the ball. Hasn't even really been hitting that well this year, but he has the potential to. Jake Bowers, I wouldn't put him in that category as star player.
He's a great platoon bat, though.
Okay, good. And you got Christian Yelich. But I mean, like, Bryce Terang is like getting to kind of star level.
It is weird because he didn't make the All-Star game, but he was on Team USA in the World Baseball Classic, and people were like, who is Bryce Terang? And then people were like, probably the best second baseman in baseball. And then he played really well. And he's played really well this season. So he's definitely got name recognition now.
And you know who else has name recognition?
Kyle Harrison.
Kyle Harrison, yeah. Another underrated arm for them. He's injured, though, bro.
Yeah.
Are you worried?
I didn't really read much into his injury.
Brandon Woodruff also injured.
Probably forever.
Yeah, he's done for the season. His career might be in jeopardy. So, the Brewers, definitely a great first half. They were good at pitching. They were good at hitting. They were good out of the bullpen, good at everything. The one thing you're worried about is that pitching staff, not that is their injuries in the pitching staff. So Brandon Woodruff, he's out for the season, maybe out for a career. Kyle Harrison, he's on the 15-day IL. And there's like a little bit of, we don't know how serious it is, but Misiorowski missed the All-Star game and has missed a couple starts. So we'll see. If anything's going to bring down the Brewers, it's going to be injuries. We'll pray for him. Also got to pray for the Reds, who are in last place in the Central. Nothing can save them, not even the Speedo. That's the top story out of the Reds this year, is they got a Speedo with their manager's face on it. They were wearing it under their uniforms. They went on a winning streak with it. They won 10 of their first 12 games in May. Then they've sucked ever since. So they thought that the Speedo was going to save the Reds. It has not saved the Reds. The Reds, unfortunately, have a terrible offense and a terrible starting pitching staff, which is the real shocker, because on paper the Reds should have a great starting pitching staff. They have Chase Burns, who's been electric. He was an all-star, couldn't pitch in the all-star game, but he was an all-star. Just signed him to a big deal. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Chase Burns got signed to a massive deal. What is the numbers on that?
Pulling up $105 million extension over 7 years.
Whew, if I had $105 million. Apparently, the GM or someone spilled coffee on it, and they had to delay the signing an hour or so they could reprint a new contract, because the first contract got ruined because they spilled coffee on it.
How long does it take to print a contract?
Listen, dude, this is a big. You gotta. I just made up an hour. I don't know how long fucking delayed.
It did delay. I did see it delayed the signing, but I don't know.
Shout out to Chase Burns, 2.54 ERA, 11-1 on the season while playing for the Reds. That's rare. But everyone else, ERA's over 4. So a step down this year for Andrew Abbott, who was an all-star last year. Brady Singer has not pitched well, 4.56 ERA. Rhett Lauder, who got off to a hot start, has sucked. Nick Lodolo is hurt. And Hunter Green has spent most of the season hurt. And in his 3 starts, 6.06 ERA. And that has been the problem for the Reds. No bueno. They got to get, maybe instead of a thong with the manager's face on it, they get a bikini. So they get
extra coverage, extra support.
Yeah, because they're playing like a bunch of bitches. Terrible for the Reds. But that might be a team to sell. Problem is who do you sell if you're Eugenio Suarez,
who's been bad,
has been bad, but you know what? He's got MLB pedigree. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the trade block. JJ Bleday Bay, who's had a great season, 127 OPS plus. Maybe he gets traded. I don't know. It feels like the Reds probably should trade somebody.
Tyler Stevenson might be an underrated buy at the deadline. He's a catcher, free agent at the end of the year.
Could happen. But maybe they get hot and they say, fuck it. I mean, only 6 games up back of a playoff spot right now. Anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. So that's all for the NL Central in the first half recap. Biggest surprise, Mitchell? The NL Central? Of all things NL Central, what's your biggest surprise?
I mean, there's so many surprises. Like the Cubs having 3 streaks of 10 games plus.
Yeah.
2 10-game winning streaks, 1 10-game losing streak. Them recovering after that 10-game losing streak. That's a bit of a surprise.
How about just the NL Central in general, the biggest surprise?
I think they are. It's just a surprise.
I mean, for the first 2 months of the season, they were by far the best division in baseball. And going into the season, you would only really put the Cubs as like an elite team.
Paul Skeens not being the best pitcher in the NL Central, that was a surprise.
Yeah. Mizorowski has surpassed Paul Skeens for the best pitcher in the NL Central. Paul Skeens, he did win a game though, right? He had a great start this weekend.
Is that 3 games in a row then?
All right, man. Paul Skeens is back. 3 wins in a row for Paul Skeens, but that was right before he lost, 9 games?
The Pirates lost 9 consecutive games when Skeens started. And they had a much worse record when Skeens started on the season than they did without Skeens.
Yeah, so Paul Skeens had a stretch where he went 0-9. Sorry, the team went 0-9. He went 0-6, had a 5.36 ERA, and I think he lost like a mile per hour on his fastball during that stretch. So people were worried about Paul Skeens. However, last 3 starts, he's returned to form, 2.45 ERA and 19 Ks in 18 innings. So that at least, whatever. What am I trying to say? That dulls the concerns. that lightens the load of concern for Paul Skeens. But I would say my biggest surprise has got to be the fucking Pirates offense. I mean, that makes no sense, especially with Ozuna, who's been dog shit. But give it up for the NL Central. I would say of all the first half, the most storylines were the NL Central this year. They've had the most meat on the bone, and we've been munching on it. Ooh. They got bikini, they got thongs, cones. PCA's calling a lady, suck my dick, bitch. Which we don't
into an MVP candidate.
You think he has more WAR than Shohei, right?
He did, I think, at the break. So probably would still hold. No, Ohtani has 6.1 F4. PCA has 5.9. It's gonna come down to the wire.
I don't. Well, I mean, I joke around. It could come down to the wire. We'll see. I just think that Shohei not pitching, he's just gonna go ape shit hitting.
I mean, ever since he stopped hitting or stopped pitching, he has like a 1+ OPS.
And it doesn't surprise me. But you know what does surprise me is the New York freaking Mets. And guess what? I probably shouldn't be surprised. However, the Mets, once again, have a very embarrassing season. So enter the season with big expectations. The New York Mets, projected to win the NL East, had the second highest payroll in MLB, the third highest payroll in MLB history. This offseason, they signed Marcus Semien. He's a 3-time All-Star. Bo Bichette, Luis Robert Jr., Jorge Polanco, Devin Williams. That is 3 Silver Sluggers and 9 All-Star game appearances combined. That's who they added this offseason. All of those players have sucked. All of them. Definitely all of them. So Luis Robert Jr., 656 OPS before getting hurt. Marcus Semien, -0.6 B WAR. 5th worst OPS in baseball. He's on the IL. Bo Bichette, 0.2 WAR this season. Terrible. 677 OPS. Jorge Polanco's got a negative WAR. He spent some time on the IL. Devin Williams has a negative WAR and a 4.83 ERA. That is their closer. So going into the season, there's rumors that Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor weren't getting along. So that was a little bit of an elephant in the room. Opening day, they have the awkward handshake. Rumors Lindor and Soto, they don't get along. Then Soto gets hurt the first week of the season. Lindor gets booed after a terrible start the first week of the season. Juan Soto returns from the IL. Then Lindor gets hurt. He goes on the IL. Just a dumpster fire from the jump for the Mets. He returns in June and makes an error on the first ball he gets. That's where the real downfall began for the Mets. So this happened 2 weeks ago, but the Mets had a stretch. This was really the probably the worst stretch of baseball we've seen so far. In the 4th inning, Marcus Semien makes an error. In the 7th inning, down by 1, he makes another error. The next inning, Bo Bichette gets a ground ball. He makes an error. A few minutes later, Mark Vientos gets a ground ball. He makes a throwing error. The next inning, Mark Vientos makes another error. 6 errors in one game. The crowd starts chanting Pete Alonso. That's another wrinkle to go in here because they get rid of Pete Alonso. They don't re-sign Pete Alonso. They don't have Brandon Nimmo anymore. They get rid of Tyler McNeil. So Jeff McNeil. So they got rid of like a lot of their core pieces, replaced them with new guys, and the new guys suck. And the fans want the old guys because that was the core of the guys they love, man. They don't have them anymore. So 6 errors in one game. The next game, ground ball to short, another error. A few minutes later, there's a ball hit to right. Another error by Carson Bench. Mets lose, and all 4 runs in that game were unearned. So the Mets made 6 errors in one game, 8 errors in 15 innings, 9 errors in a single series, gave up 33 runs in 4 games, lose 6 games in a row, fall 13 games below 500, and fire Carlos Mendoza. And that is how the Mets season has gone. Fire Carlos Mendoza. What happens after that? Very first play after firing their manager, Juan Soto makes an error. There's an inside the park home run. So that was about a week that really just fucking put a nail in the coffin for the Mets. And then it gets worse because Steve Cohen comes out and says that the Lindor and Soto situation is actually better now, and it was actually worse last year, basically just confirming that the two guys don't get along at all. So
what was Soto's quote? You don't kiss a girl on the first date?
No, unless you're me. I do. I always kiss girls every time I see them, bro, because they're obsessed with me everywhere I go. Chicks, 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 chicks.
Oh, no!
all the time, baby. Me and Juan Soto. Soto couldn't even imagine the amount of chicks I get, dude.
You know, it's funny. There's gonna be like 14 comments of people being like, "I can't believe the arrogance of this man."
Fuck them, bro. They don't get it. You know, everyone wonders why did Juan Soto leave DC? Why didn't he want to stay in DC? Why didn't he accept a $480 million contract in DC? I was taking all the pussy, dude. I couldn't get any pussy. I was in here just sweeping up, bro. Chicks everywhere, bro.
You and Juan, same spot, and he was losing out every time.
Sorry.
He said, "Get me out of this place.
Sorry, brother. Can't compete.
Send me to San Diego."
I knocked the fuck out of him. And I got game. Either way, him and Lindor not getting along, man. Not getting along. Now there's rumors that the Mets are looking to trade Lindor. So right now, the Mets, 65 errors on the season, second worst in MLB. They are 6-9 since firing their manager, so it's gotten even worse. Currently in last place, second worst record in the NL, and only one game better than the Rockies. Let's double check that because that was before this weekend that I wrote this down. Where are they compared to the Rockies? Mets 42 wins, so they are a game and a half better than the Rockies. Sorry, 2.5 games better than the Rockies. I'm craving cheese puffs right now. Sorry.
Is that related to how
No,
bad the Rockies
Are
and
you
Mets are?
pregnant?
The way I get around, you never know.
The way you kissing chicks. Kiss every chick I see. Yeah, that's something you said. That's a quote.
I'm kissing so many chicks, I think I might be pregnant.
Whoa.
I'm getting so many. So the Mets are down bad, and they're putting everyone on the trade block. What I read this online today. So apparently, according to the news, the Mets have put every single player they have on the trade block are available for trade, except for Juan Soto, Nolan McLean, Carson Bench, AJ Ewing, and Christian Scott. Meaning that according to Chelsea Janes, who reported this, Francisco Lindor is on the table to be traded. And I'm hoping for it because I think Lindor, it'd be great to see him in some new colors, but that would really be a complete teardown. That would be getting rid of this new guy, Stearns. It's just like anyone who was on the Mets before I got here needs to get the fuck out.
I think it's kind of funny Christian Scott makes that list. He's had a great season, but they like Soto, our top prospects, Benj and Ewing, and also Christian Scott, who's a 27-year-old.
Hey, a lot of people are in the Christian Scott market right now.
They would probably get a lot for Christian Scott just because he's team controllable. But it's just, you think, the Mets stars and Christian Scott.
Well, he's their one starter who's had a good season this year.
I mean, they already made a trade. They've already started the teardown.
Oh, yeah.
David Peterson kind of sucks.
Yeah, David Peterson. There was also another trade this weekend that I'm blanking on. I'm sure will come up here in a bit. It was the Cubs. The Cubs traded for somebody. The Cubs traded for a pitcher. Am I right or am I right?
Oh, Aaron Savali.
Aaron Savali. Did he go to the Cubs?
He went to the Cubs.
We should have mentioned that. So the Cubs already do add to they're getting the trade. The trades are going early. They add Aaron Savali, which is what they need because, as we mentioned earlier, they got at least 5 starters on the IL. And Aaron Savali, who comes from Oakland, who this could be a great trade because I don't know what his stats were, right? He was in Oakland. Sorry, not Oakland, Sacramento, which is the worst place on earth to pitch, has a 5.42 ERA, a 1.621 whip. However, that's with a big asterisk because he's playing in Sacramento, which is famously not a team-friendly, pitcher-friendly.
You want to know what
ballpark.
his road ERA is?
What?
4.25.
Hey,
That's
man.
solid.
Small sample size. It is solid. You're right. Solid. Last year he got traded to the Cubs. What did he do? He was a beast. 2.08 ERA. So this is second trade deadline in a row. Trade deadline in a row. They trade for Aaron Savali.
He had a fun year last year where he just went up and down Milwaukee and Chicago. Barely had to move.
I love it. Dude, I'm fucking excited for the playoffs. I had a weird feeling all day today where I'm like, I'm ready for fall. Not that I'm ready for fall because I feel like I'm going to miss summer and I feel like I haven't enjoyed it as much as maybe past summers because I'm like been inside a lot. But like, I don't know. I got a fall sensibility today. I was thinking about college, like football earlier and like, I don't know.
I will say, not having baseball for 3 days was really nice.
Wow, Mitchell hates baseball officially. Piece of shit. Hear that at home, guys? Everyone at home who would love to be a Mitchell. That guy doesn't even like baseball.
Don't even know the sport. But it was nice, you come back in, you take a few days to reset, and then you watch the Braves just destroy the Rangers, and baseball is a lot more fun again.
No, I agree. And a 3-day break. I wouldn't say I had the same feeling. I will say I remember watching like the day of the All-Star game. I was kind of like at home that night. I was like, I kind of just wish there was like regular games today. Like I'd rather watch a Tuesday night of baseball when all 30 teams are playing. To me, is more enjoyable than the All-Star game. Because I like it when you get those 6:40, 7 o'clock games all kind of ending at the same time, and you're flipping around, seeing this game's tight, like following the games. Then you got Shohei coming up late night. Like to me, that's more enjoyable than one All-Star game.
Whenever I watch games and MLB Big Inning comes on, I'm like, I'm going to be so much better at my job this week because I'm just seeing everything play out as opposed to looking back retrospectively.
You do big inning?
Every now and then, it's really nice.
I'm just flipping them. I'm flipping them back and forth. That's why it pissed me off when they did the Peacock bullshit. Because, it wasn't like, MLB app is easy. You click down, then you can like see the scores and you can, they're down by 1. There's 2 runners on base. I got to flip to this shit. Braves obviously already winning 10-0. I'm not even watching anymore because we're the best team. So we're flipping around. But speaking of the Braves, the Phillies. You guys think I should get a haircut? It's crazy, bro.
You've got a lot of options right here. You've got it long enough. You could just go straight for the mullet.
You could go like you've put in the time. You kind of worked through the awkward part. Now you just have a ton of hair. A mullet would be fun. I would like a mullet, maybe like an Australian mullet.
Well, it's getting too long now in the back where like I feel like uncomfortable going out in public without a hat on. So I need to get it cut. I mean, I might get the Abner.
That's the gift and the curse of the flow, though.
Yeah. I might get the Abner double day.
Ooh, that would be.
I think you're gonna need a little bit of a perm for that.
All right.
You do have to get a little bit of a perm. It's kind of like it's like the OG Princess Leia.
They had perms in the Civil War.
He could just be curly headed. I think. I don't know.
Or maybe I'll get the Rob Manfred. Shave it all off. Okay, well, the Phillies, same boat as the Mets at one point, right? So the Phillies, on April 26th, they were tied with the Mets for the worst record in baseball. They've gone in completely opposite directions since then. They lost 12 of 11 games of that point. That's impossible. They lost 11 of their last 12 games at that point. They were 10.5 games back of first place. They went to a Flyers game and got booed. What did they do? They fired their manager. Since then, everything's changed. Since then, they have the best record in baseball since firing their manager. Kyle Schwarber leads the league in homers. Christopher Sanchez leads pitchers in WAR. Over the past 2 seasons, he is the most valuable pitcher according to Fangraphs. That's Christopher Sanchez, who started the All-Star game and shit the bed. But it's okay. It's fine. You lead pitchers in WAR over the last 2 seasons. We're going to give you your flowers. Zach Wheeler, who had an emergency surgery due to a blood clot last season, was forced to have a rib remove, is elite. Again, the guy almost fucking died. Now he's elite. Don't sleep on Zach Wheeler, Cy Young. That's not out of the question. What's his ERA right now? 2.14, I want to say?
2.13.
2.13. It's even better than I thought, man. Ooh. Zach Wheeler. I barely even know her.
Man, he's had 3 straight starts with 10 or more strikeouts. He's been really pissed off.
Can we make it 4? We'll see. At least 6 pitchers have never pitched again after getting his surgery. He, 2.13 ERA, 4.8 WAR in just 15 starts. I believe he leads pitchers in B WAR this year, which is insane because he missed the first month and is 10-1 since returning. The Phillies go from being 10.5 games back and a 30% chance to make the playoffs to at the break just being 2 games back and have an 86% chance to make the playoffs. So the Phillies, great comeback. You know what shocks me though? The Phillies negative run differential.
It's because their 5th starter. So Aaron Nola sometimes sucks. And then their 5th starter always sucks. And so they have 3 days a week when they have Wheeler, Sanchez, Luzardo. They're pitching great games, close games, winning by 2 or 3 runs, and then they hit that 5th starter and they're losing 10 runs. I think I saw something where they're like 1-15 with their 5th starter.
Hey, maybe at the trade deadline they get a 5th starter and changes everything. Never know. But still trailing the Braves, who are back in first place after back-to-back disappointing seasons. The Braves are back. We thought they were cooked. They're not cooked. And they ask, what's the difference, man? The Braves, pretty much the same roster. Last year, shit the bed. Year before, a lot of injuries, were terrible. But this year, bringing back the same guys, and it's a whole different story. And the biggest difference is Walt Weiss, new manager for the Braves, who, if you remember, came out with a bang. So this is back in April, right? This is the third week of the season. Ronaldo Lopez hits Jorge Soler on a 2-2 pitch. He starts staring at Lopez. Lopez notices he's staring at him. They start talking shit. Jorge Soler charges the mound. They square off. And out of nowhere, Walt Weiss comes in and wrecks Jorge Soler. And boy, I tell you, did Walt Weiss bring some energy to Atlanta. So they have the third best record in MLB, third best run differential, first in the NL East, and have 5 All-Stars this season. Michael Harris, who has sucked the last few years, has been amazing this year. Matt Olson, who has been, I don't know, a little bit above average the last 2 years, has been amazing this year. Was he the best? Was he not an all-star? He was an all-star.
All-star.
But Freddie Freeman got the start over him?
Dodgers.
Bro, we won the Freeman trade.
I will say
we won the
Freeman's hitting stats were like marginally better than Olson's. So
okay, we respect Freeman, but Matt Olson's doing his thing. That's what I'm talking about. Chris Sale somehow is still fucking amazing at pitching. He just got his 2,500th strikeout. Chris Sale. They got to study this guy in a lab, bro.
2,700th strikeout.
So this guy, who was like the best pitcher on earth from his age 23 season until 2018, when he won the World Series for the Red Sox, had 0 Cy Youngs, but was an all-star for 7 years in a row, top 5 in Cy Young voting, 7 years in a row, then got injured in 2019, right? He ends up getting injured in 2019, injured in 2020, injured in 2021, injured in 2022, injured in 2023. Absolutely fucking cooked, right? Red Sox are like, why did we sign this guy? He sucks. They traded him to the Braves for nothing. Ever since then, he has been unstoppable. Unstoppable this year. Is also making another argument to be a Cy Young pitcher. If he can stay healthy all year, I would not be surprised if Chris Sale is a Cy Young pitcher. If Mizorowski goes down, I don't know. But the Braves, 6th in runs, 9th in starting pitching, 3rd in relief pitching. They're kind of an all-around great team. But they've been struggling in June, right? So what the fuck happened to the Braves? Why aren't they as good as they used to be?
Ronald Acuna. So on June 10th, they go into the series against the White Sox. They have the best record in all of baseball. They're 45-22. They've only lost 2 series all year. In that game, they go up 4-0. Then Ronald Acuna Jr. strains his hamstring. They lose that game. They go 4-12 the rest of the month. They lose the 6 of their next 7 series. They scored the fewest runs in baseball in all of June. Drake Baldwin, he got injured in May. Before he got injured, he was the best catcher in baseball. He comes back, hits the longest home run in MLB this season, and then somehow has the worst OPS in Braves franchise history in the month.
Drake?
Ha-Sung Kim, he signed for $20 million this season. The Braves have had a weakness at shortstop since they let Dansby Swanson go to the Cubs. He slips on ice. He misses the first 2 months of the season. He comes back. He is the 2nd worst player in baseball.
It pissed me off because I told you earlier we needed more Koreans in the All-Star game.
And Ha-Sung Kim should have been there.
He could have been our Korean. We had one. But we could have had 2.
Half of one.
Yeah.
And then the Braves end the rest of the month without Acuna, the worst team in baseball. They go 6-6 in the first half in July. They go from being up 9.5 games to being up 2 games in the span of 16 games in first place. And somehow they still managed to end the first half in first place.
Yeah, I mean, the Braves, if you take a snapshot of their first half, you got to say it was a great first half. 3rd best record in the NL, first place. However, their June was so fucking bad. Once they lose Acuna, lose what you said, 6 out of 7 series after losing Acuna. They also lose Strider to injury. But Acuna's coming back.
He's coming back.
This week.
Maybe.
He's He's taking his rehab appearances, taking it slow.
And then Drake Baldwin, as soon as June ended, he returned to being one of the best hitters in baseball. He went 5 for 5 yesterday with 2 homers. He has like a 190 WRC plus in July. It was just June. He had a 225 OPS for June. He played, he didn't play for the first 15 days of that month, and he still had the lowest WAR among position players in June. It was a weird month.
Weird month. So the Braves, at one point had a 10.5 game lead. Right now only have a 3-game lead or 2-game lead.
They ended the first half with a 2-game lead. It's a 3-game lead right now.
Currently have a 3-game lead over the Phillies and the Marlins, who the Marlins were on our tail for a little bit too. The Marlins in June had the opposite thing happen to them. They had the best record in baseball in June. They got fucking hot out of nowhere. This is a team with the lowest payroll in the league. Absolutely nobody on the roster that you would recognize other than Sandy Alcantara, former Cy Young candidate, or Cy Young winner. However, he's not even really been that good this year. He does lead the league in innings pitched, but a 3.89 ERA, which is great, which is good, but not great. Their really great pitcher has been Max Meyer, who has been an all-star for the Marlins, came out of nowhere and led them to a surprising fucking first half.
They were at one point in this month in second place with the Phillies.
Damn. So they caught the Phillies.
It's like they Freaky Friday'd with the Braves in June.
Yeah, so what was their record in June?
Let's see. So they went an MLB best 20-6.
20-6 in June, and that saved their season. So the Marlins are definitely in the thick of it. They would be a great candidate to add more pieces at the deadline. I kind of doubt they're going to do that because they're moneyballing it up in Miami. They had 2 All-Stars. Otto Lopez, who leads the league in hits and leads the league in doubles, leads the league in average, 335 on the season, 4.9 WAR, their shortstop, who's been absolutely freaking insane this year. Shout out to Otto Lopez. We slept on him.
The Marlins got him off of waivers. He was designated for assignment twice in 2024, and now he's one of the best shortstops in baseball.
Wow. Shout out to the Marlins. They deserve it. A franchise that doesn't get much love because they don't really deserve much love, but they deserve it this year. They moneyballed it up. Unfortunately, they have lost 6 games in a row. So if we would have done this podcast a week ago, we would have been probably a lot more excited about the Marlins. Tough stretch, back-to-back series losses against the Brewers and the Guardians. However, you got to give them a B+ on the first half, especially for what their expectations were. I mean, what were their playoff odds going into the year?
I can't imagine they were that high. Going into the season, I don't even see them on the chart. Okay, 9.2%.
9.2% playoff odds for the Marlins. Last week, they got up to 51.5% playoff odds. Unfortunately, after the last 2 series, lost 6 in a row, they went down to 23.7% playoff odds. So that hurt them a lot, according to the analytics. That cut their playoff odds in half. Last week, they had a 51.5% chance to make it. Now just a 23.7%. So that's not great, but come on. You just got to fight. Marlins fight. We fight. What is the Creed song?
Mitch looking at me just now is crazy.
You're from Florida, right? Is it Creed, Florida? Yeah, Creed. Marlins song. Can we play the Marlins song? Marlins, we soar.
That's what fish do.
We got to get a pump-up speech.
You got your audio plugged in here?
Marlins. They counted you out. They said that this wasn't going to be a year. This is a rebuild year. You only got a 9% chance to make the playoffs. It's a pipe dream. You play in Miami. No one wants to watch baseball in Miami. That's for the clubs, baby. Miami's not a baseball town. You don't have any good players.
We should probably stop the song.
Why, dude?
Because I don't want to get the episode pulled.
Get it pulled. I don't give a fuck. It's the Miami Marlins episode.
Don't you want people to see it?
They don't. You don't know anything about getting shit pulled, bro. They don't pull you down. They might take the money.
If you play the song?
Yeah, they might pull it. I don't know. That's not copyrighted, bro. That's got to be public domain. Creed Marlins song?
As far as I know, Creed songs probably are not public domain. Maybe the Marlins one is.
Yeah, but it's like an important American folk song.
I don't think iconicity matters when it comes to copyright.
All right, whatever.
I don't think we can just play the Beatles because it's iconic.
Well, since you're going to be...
I could sing it, I guess.
Well, guess what? I'm off the Marlins now. If I can't hear the song, I don't fuck with them.
This has kind of ruined Joey's day and probably will derail the rest of the episode.
Not a Marlins.
Marlins wide open.
Another surprising team in the NL East. That is the Washington Nationals, who had even worse playoff odds at the end of the year. They had a 0.8% chance to make the playoffs. Still not great for the Nats. Still just 4.9% playoff odds, but holy shit did the fucking Nationals bats show up. So James Wood and CJ Abrams have carried the offense this year. Maybe you got some tidbits on them combined, something?
Well, them and Luis Garcia, they were the first trio of teammates this year with 20-plus homers and 60 RBIs. Abrams and Garcia already have a career high in home runs. James Wood last year was an all-star, but after his second half last year, there were a lot of questions whether he could be good. I think he put up 3.3 WAR for the entire 2025 season, and 3 WAR was in that first half. So he's come out and he's just smoked the ball. His first week was actually really bad. The Nationals fans online were kind of panicking and saying that there was a James Wood problem. And then since then, he's just been one of the best hitters in baseball.
There is not a James Wood problem. The problem with James Wood is he's too fucking good. Guy leads the league in walks, leads the league in ROBA, which I don't even know what that means, but I don't give a fuck. He's got a 163 OPS plus, and
we're not even mentioning that he leads the league in runs scored by 21 runs.
Damn! So you want to know why the Nationals score so many damn runs? Because of James Wood. 91 runs scored this year. Amazing.
And then CJ Abrams is third in RBIs. So he's basically James Wood's either hitting a homer or walking, and then CJ Abrams knocking them in.
Yeah, so combined they have 7 WAR, and then you add Luis Garcia Jr. having a big year, 132 OPS plus. They have the, second best offense in baseball?
They lead the league in runs.
Lead the league in runs. The Washington Nationals have the best offense in baseball. Better than the Pirates, we were saying, or they tie with the Pirates?
They are better than the Pirates.
They are better than the Pirates. Unfortunately, the reason why they're not a playoff team is the bullpen is one of the worst bullpens in the history of baseball. So the record for most blown saves in a season by a single bullpen is 37. The Nats already halfway through the year have 27. They have a 5.07 ERA, the 4th worst in baseball. However, they entered the break. What is the stat? The 8.10 ERA?
Oh, after the 8th inning.
So after the 8th inning at home, they
or in the 8th inning and after.
In the 8th inning or later, they have an 8.10 ERA.
They literally do not want to win.
Yes. So not only are they bad, they are bad when it matters most. They've blown, I think, 6 saves in the last few weeks against the Yankees and Phillies. And if they would have won all those games, this would not only be a playoff team, I think they would have surpassed the Phillies by now. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So if there's one thing the Nats need to address, that is the bullpen. It's obvious. I kind of doubt they're going to do it because they weren't really expecting to win.
The thing about the Nationals bullpen is the improvement. The floor that they have right now for their bullpen is so low that basically anything is an improvement. Like, they're throwing anybody out there in the 9th inning. They're saying, hey, can you get outs in the 9th inning? And they're just rotating through every single guy in their bullpen and their minor league system. And the answer has been no so far. So they're just waiting for someone to say, I can get outs in the 9th.
If anyone knows how to get outs in the 9th, call up the Washington Nationals and you got a job. They even got a bullpen cart for you.
They had that one dude who took the bullpen cart and he didn't allow runs. And then they sent him back to the minors.
Gotta respect it. They had a funny-ass series against the A's. They sent the best offense in baseball to Sacramento, and they scored 23 runs in the first game. Next game, they gave up 15 runs. So in the first 2 games of the series, what's 27 plus 16?
Why am I blanking? 43?
43 runs in 2 games. They end up winning that series, though. 2 out of 3 for the Washington Nationals. And that caps off the NL East, which I'd say right now, is the strongest division in baseball right now. Is there anyone who's going to argue with that?
I think the NL Central fans would. I think the AL East is also pretty strong.
I just think the Braves, Phillies, and Marlins, bro, and the Nationals.
Yeah, but then you got the Mets.
You do have the Mets, man. Don't sleep on the Mets. Coming in for a big second half comeback. Once they trade Lindor, get that cancer out of the clubhouse, they're off to the races. Trust me. And we're going to get to the White Sox next. But before we get to that, we're going to do a quick brand deal. This episode is brought to you by Chubbies. The cool shorts. Everybody knows Chubbies shorts. I got a pair myself, and boy, do I love wearing my Chubbies shorts, especially in the summertime, bro. They got so many cool designs. They got little flower designs, the famous American flag design, and it is perfect time to wear these pants and shirts and basketballs, apparently, according to that picture. That's cool. They even got a basketball on the website. Swim trunks, everything. It's perfect for summer. Summer is here. And you know what that means? The sun is shining, the pool is calling, and it's finally seasonal appropriate to unleash your thighs. And fellas, we all know there's no better shorts for the summer than Chubbies. You know the thighs are in, right? If you're wearing fucking shorts down to your knees, what are you, dumb bitch? Show off the thighs. Get some Chubby swing chunks.
My thighs are out right now.
Love to see it. I wish we could get a camera angle on those things.
I could probably get my leg up, but I won't.
Yeah, we're going to get demonetized for that. Chubby swing trunks are so incredibly stylish and comfortable that it feels illegal. We're talking bold prints, lightweight fabric, and they dry quickly. 4-way stretch that lets you move more freely from the beach to the bar and back again. That's the thing. A lot of people don't like these shorter shorts because they're like uncomfortable and they're like they rub up on your groin and shit, and they're constricting. Not Chubbies, bro. They are stretchable, flexible, and durable. Multiple inseam options, so you can always find the perfect balance of comfort, confidence, and thigh exposure. I'm not saying you guys show too much thigh. If you want to show a lot of thigh, they got a 4-inch. If you want to show not as much thigh, they got a 7-inch. They got all kinds of thigh exposure levels. But they feel great, bro. They do feel great. They make your mood better because they stretch and they're comfortable. And your thighs love them. You love them. The ladies love them. The guys love them. Everybody loves them. You want me to show you why I love them? Same reason I just said, bro. I rock my Chubbies all the time. And they dry quickly, which is the biggest thing. Cannonballs in the pool, the cold ones in no time. You wear them to the bar, you wear them to the beach, you wear them to the pool, you wear them to quinceañera, you can wear them to church one day. If you go to a cool church that allows you to wear shorts, why not? It's summer, baby. It's time to dive into Chubbies. They fit right, they feel right, and they go with everything. Designed for comfort, built for stretch, and designed to give you thigh-high confidence. You wear them once, and you'll find yourself wondering why you ever owned other shorts. So whether you're getting dressed for your workday, a workout, or a summer vacation, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our viewers 20% off their order with code PDE. 20% off Chubbies. Come on, guys. How can you give that deal up? Chubbyshorts.com and use code PDE at chubbyshorts.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubbies. Please, at least check out their website because they do have a lot of great options. A lot of great shorts, a lot of great swim trunks. They even have pants. A lot of cool summer options for pants. Love that. And shirts too. Shirts are very nice. So go to Chubbies. Shorts.com and use code PDE right now. All right, so by far the biggest surprise of the first half got to be America's team, the Chicago White Sox. So before this year, the Chicago White Sox had 3 100-loss seasons in a row. Only 4 teams in MLB history have had more consecutive 100-loss seasons. During those 3 seasons, they had the least runs in baseball, least amount of hits in baseball, lowest batting average in baseball, lowest slugging percentage in baseball, lowest OPS in baseball, lowest on-base percentage in baseball. So the worst freaking offense in history. This year, 10th best offense in the league. So the offense is absolutely insane. And a lot of that has to do with a guy named Miguel Vargas, who I just said the White Sox were the worst offense in baseball. Well, he was a big part of that. He had the lowest WRC plus in the league in 2024, negative 1.42 FWAR, lowest on base percentage, lowest slugging percentage, says he could never have joy in playing baseball again. And this year he leads the team in WAR, was an all-star. And not only was he an all-star, he had a home run at the freaking all-star game. Already has 20 home runs on the season for Miguel Vargas, more than his first 3 seasons combined. However, as good as Vargas has been, it's not his team. This is Munetaka Murakami's team. So Munetaka Murakami, probably the biggest addition to MLB on the year. I mean, he's taken the league by storm. This is a former MVP in Japan, World Baseball Classic hero in Japan, home run record holder in Japan. When he signed to the White Sox, shocked everybody. No one thought he was going to go to the White Sox because the White Sox were irrelevant. Also, every team was sleeping on him. What did they end up signing him for?
I think $40 million, 2 years.
$40 million, 2 years. Steal of the century. First thing he tells the media when he gets to the U.S., I have power. And he does have fucking power. He had 3 home runs in his first 3 games. In April, he had a home run in 5 straight games. Entering May, he had the most home runs in the league and became the first rookie in MLB history to get 20 home runs before June. The White Sox had a 1.2% chance to make the playoffs going into the season. Right now, not only would they be in the playoffs if the season ends today, they'd have a first-round bye, motherfuckers. The White Sox are in first place in the AL Central, 1 game up of the Cleveland Guardians. As Munetaka Murakami takes the league by storm, bro. Also, he got injured. When did he get injured?
In May.
So he got injured in May. Everyone thought the White Sox were fucked. And they weren't fucked. They only got better from there. So what do you got on the White Sox? Anything you want to add?
I mean, they, in addition to Vargas and Munetaka Murakami, they also have Colson Montgomery, who in his short career, he already has 45 career homers. He had 21 last year in 71 games. He has 24 this year in 94 games. He's their shortstop. They've got Antonacci, who's kind of been like, doesn't have much power, but he's a high on base guy, high average, been a great left fielder. Tristan Peters, former Savannah Banana,
Respect.
all-star, kind of surprised me. I didn't realize how good of a season he was having before he was named an all-star. They've got a look. Whoa. I didn't realize this. 8 of their 9 starters are above, or league average or above by OPS plus. I didn't realize they were that good.
That's definitely the biggest surprise for the White Sox is the offense. The offense has been the best thing going for them. A lot of that has to do with Montgomery, but Montgomery has cooled down a bit. I believe Montgomery is about a league average hitter on the year. Am I right?
116 OPS plus.
Okay.
So he has come down quite a bit.
But still better than what I thought. 116 OPS plus. That's pretty good for a damn rookie. I know he's not a rookie, but.
And then they've got some sleepers in the bullpen. Brian Hudson, 2.13 ERA in 42 innings. Grant Taylor, 2.74 ERA.
Sean Newcomb,
who is, I think, still has the best ERA since last All-Star break among relievers.
Who would have thought? Shout out to Sean Newcomb. Sean Newcomb. They were nuking him. Not anymore. Now he's nuking them. Sean Newcomb. Should have been an all-star, bro. Should have been an all-star. Who were the White Sox all-stars? They had Vargas. They had Munetaka. Was that it?
Peters,
Tristan Peters. And Davis Martin did not make it, even though he's been a big bright spot for him in the rotation. That's the one spot that I think they could help a lot in, is that starting rotation. Looks like they only have like really 4 starters. One of them is Anthony Kay. Another one is Noah Schultz. So room to grow there. But, I mean, if the White Sox keep this up, it will be the biggest shock of the MLB season. They are America's team. They are fending off the Guardians right now, who are 1 game behind them. The Guardians, their biggest first half storyline was Chase DeLauder's first week. So this guy's a rookie. 4 home runs in his first 4 games, went 6 for 17, had a home run in his first plate appearance, then hit another home run on April 3rd, went 3 for 4. After this game, he had a fucking 923 slugging percentage. Since then, not as good. He only has 2 home runs since then.
So he only hit 2 home runs over the next 53 games. In total, he's had 6 home runs since his first week in Major League Baseball.
So how many home runs since his first week?
6 since his first week. 2 in the first 53 games after that, and then since June 6th, he has 4.
So it started off so well for DeLauder. Hit 2 home runs in his first game, another home run the next day, and the next day another home run. 4 home runs in his first 3 MLB games.
And 5 home runs in his first 8 games.
So an amazing start for him. However, it's been slow since then, and the Guardians, in general, their offense has been slow. They are last in runs, last in OPS, 28th in average, and 27th in home runs. Their offense is the worst in baseball. A big reason for that is Jose Ramirez, who has been the guy who's carried this fucking team for the past, 10 years. It's been a while. He's been hurt. He also didn't get off to a great start, only at 113 OPS plus, which is bad for him. Broke his hamate bone. I don't know when he's going to be back, but he's missed at least a month.
Yeah, it was June 13 was when he got injured.
Yeah, so tough. But their pitching staff has kept them afloat. 7th in starters ERA, 8th in relievers ERA. That Parker Mezek, who's like the new guy, who the Guardians always just like produce a brand new pitcher every year who you never heard of, who's amazing. That's him this year. Parker Mezek, 2.73 ERA. He's an all-star. Gavin Williams leads the AL in K per nines, and Cade Smith leads the league in saves. So those guys are trying to carry him to surpass the White Sox. I would not be surprised if they did, but they got to hit better than last place in fucking runs. And you know who's on their tail? The Tigers, who, just like the Phillies, just like the Mets, dog shit to start the season. On May 31st, they had just gotten swept by the White Sox. They were 6-22 on May 31st. Over 1/3 of their game. Sorry, in May, they were 6-22. 1/3 of their games in May resulted in a blown save. In 1 month, they blew 10 saves. They were 16 games below 500. Worst record in the AL. 9 games out of a playoff spot. Since then, best record in the AL. Pretty freaking good. 24-16. Don't sleep on the Tigers because they have been, over the past month and a half, 2 months, a great team. Best team ERA since June 1st. Best starting pitching staff since June 1st. And most home runs in baseball since June 1st. At least going into the break, I believe. Biggest loss was Scooble got hurt. So Scooble got hurt in May. He had a bone chips in his elbow. So typically you miss 2 to 3 months with bone chips. They invented a new surgery called the Scooble scope, and fucking medical science was like, we need to get this guy back on the field, and they did. The guy came back in 38 days on an injury that usually takes 2 to 3 months. Since returning, they have the 3rd best starters ERA, and Scooble's got a 2.97 since coming back. Currently 7 games under 500, but just 4.5 games back of a wild card spot. And the biggest question for them is if they're going to trade Scooble or not. So Scooble, he's going into a free agent deal. He is about to get paid $1 trillion. The Tigers don't have $1 trillion, and no one believes they're going to sign him. So what? Do you trade him or do you don't?
They're not planning on it.
Is that what they said?
That's what they've said.
Yeah.
It really looks like, though, this could be another situation where the Tigers pull a 2023 Angels, where Angels held on to Ohtani, probably unwisely.
Yeah, and I can see that perspective, and yeah, the chances are that the Tigers aren't gonna, make a World Series run. But if you look, their plan going into the year was, this roster is good enough to be a World Series team, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically, definitely a playoff team, definitely a team that could win the division. I want to say they had the best chances to win the division going into the year. Let's double check real quick. So the Tigers going in the year had the best odds to win the division. They got up to a fucking 77% playoff odds the first week of the season. So it's not like they have a bad roster. They do have some injuries. Javi Baez, Trey Sweeney, Gleyber Torres are injured. But if you have the same roster, you're only how many games back of a 4.5 games back of a playoff spot, and you thought this roster was good enough to be a World Series contender. Why would you trade your best pitcher if those things are all true?
It is just tough. Their May was so bad that it really derailed their entire season. When Scuba was injured, they were, I don't remember their exact record, but they were one of the better AL Central teams, or one of the best AL teams. And then they had that stretch without Scooble. They went 10-23, and like you were saying, a third of their games were blown saves, and their offense actually just sucked in general. It was the weirdest thing. Scooble got hurt, and then everyone on their offense forgot how to hit. And then Scooble came back, and they remembered how to hit again.
So hopefully their May doesn't come back to bite them, but it looks like it might. We'll see. They're still in the hunt, and they're not as bad as the Royals. Royals, worst team in baseball, right? Worst record? Worst record in baseball. The Kansas City Royals. Seth Lugo got hit in the head with a fucking 107-mile-per-hour line drive. That was scary. They did have a cool thing happen. Their 9-hole hitter, Tyler Tolbert, a 9-hole hitter on the worst team in MLB, spent 8 years in the minors, never once put up a season with an OPS over 755 in the minors, has played about 70 MLB games in his career, only has 7 hits all season, then gets 7 hits in a game and a half. Okay? Ends up tying a record with 12 hits in a row. So the worst hitter on the worst team sets an MLB record or ties an MLB record, getting a hit in 12 straight plate appearances. 5 of these hits were infield singles. 4 of them were not even hit hard. Sorry, only 4 of these balls were hit hard, according to StatCast. His expected average was 406, while his real average was 1,000. And in 4 games, his career average went from 247 to 340. So he makes MLB history, and that is great. The team sucks, but he's good.
Even bigger news for the Royals. Made a clip about that guy, didn't you?
Yeah.
And who fucking liked it, dude? Who reposted that joint?
You know, it was Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban.
So thanks to us, Mr. Tolbert, you are on Mark Cuban's radar. He's a big fan of you. And hopefully that they can work out a deal, and we probably get a finder's fee.
I think we need to get old Mark on the phone, get him on the pod. I actually think Mark Cuban would do our podcast.
Do you think that he would buy part of it?
No, I don't really know. I think that he would tell you that was stupid to do.
10%.
I think he'd be like, you don't need me.
$3 million, 10%.
I don't know, man. He's a man of the people.
Okay. Well, then, I'm not going to have him on.
Okay.
Unless he gives me a $3 million investment.
Getting a hold of him, impossible. Getting him on, likely.
What does that even mean?
Like, if only we could talk to him, we could get him on.
If we got the gift of gab, you're saying? If I get me in a room with Mark Cuban, it's over. If only I could get in a room with Mark fucking Cuban. But yeah, the Royals, I don't think you're going to do it this year. Anything you want to tap in on the Royals real quick, Mitch?
It's Bobby Wood Jr. and no one else. So Jack Caglione had a really nice stretch in June, but Bobby Wood Jr. has 4.8 F4, and the rest of the team combined has 6.1 F4. So Bobby Wood's just having an MVP season, and then no one else on this offense is good. And we really liked the Royals coming in. Maybe it was because we were watching too much World Baseball Classic too many World Baseball Classic games, but they have just been. Would you call them one of the most disappointing teams in baseball this year?
I would say the most disappointing team. Well, I guess the Mets, but yeah, I would say one of the most disappointing teams. Yeah, they had a lot of hype going into the year just because of the World Baseball Classic, and they had a lot of guys you like: Bobby Witt, Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, Caglione. These are guys you really root for, and they have a lot of upside. And like you said, none of them, other than Bobby Witt, have really lived up to it. I think Salvador Perez is the worst player in baseball this year, which is sad, but great career. You can't hate on him too much. But despite the high expectations, they are terrible. The Twins, though, the opposite. We said the opposite of the Twins. Going into the year, we thought the Twins were going to be the worst team in MLB, and they are not. The Twins right now are right behind the Guardians. 49-51, 49-51, 2 games below 500, just 2 games back of a wild card spot. A big reason for that is that Byron Buxton has stayed healthy most of the year. He had 0 home runs in the first 14 games. Since then, he's got 25. So Byron Buxton has torn the cover off the ball. Biggest problem with Buxton is he's on the IL every single season. He's been on the IL every single season of his career, except for one. This year, he was healthy the entire year, helped put the Twins in the position they're at, but right before the All-Star break, goes on the IL, right?
He went on the IL. He is back today, so we didn't miss that much time. The All-Star break really helped him out there.
Okay. So goes on the IL. However, good news, as Mitchell just said, he is returning. And the Twins, they're in the thick of it, man. Not the most exciting team. Nothing that really stands out to you other than a couple individual performances, but 2 games out of a wild card spot. Somehow they've had a pretty good offense.
Yeah, I feel like as a whole, their team is a little underwhelming. You've got a star in Byron Buxton. You have a star in Joe Ryan. And then the rest of the team, you're really not all that high on. Like Taj Bradley has had a really good season. Cody Clemens out of nowhere, Roger Clemens' son, has 18 homers. He's about to have a career high in home runs.
Damn.
As a 30-year-old.
Sheesh.
But then, yeah, the rest of the lineup, it's not exciting. They're getting the job done.
No. But you know what? Sometimes the boring team ends up being exciting because they stick around. 2 games back of a playoff spot. So the White Sox, first place team, America's team, Guardians right behind them. The Twins on their heels and the Tigers as well are all in it. All of these teams have a chance to make the playoffs other than the Royals, who are cooked. Similar position is out west. The San Francisco Giants have tough look for the Giants. I mean, controversy after controversy, loss after loss. They come into the season with high expectations. New manager, Tony Vitello. He's a lightning rod. First college manager in history to be hired to be a major league manager. Tied for the second best odds to win the West. So they were picked to be the second best team behind the Dodgers. But after the first month, they were in last place, had the worst offense in baseball. So Jung-Hoo Lee, who has $85 million left on his contract, after the first month had a negative 1 WAR, 0.1 WAR. Sorry, had a 0.1 WAR. Willie Adames, $161 million on his contract, negative WAR. Rafael Devers, $226 million on his contract, negative WAR. Matt Chapman, $125 million left on his contract, 0.3 WAR. So they had a negative 0.8 WAR combined for $88 million of payroll after the first month of the season, and they were basically cooked after that. They did have a little bit of gumption when they started humping each other in the outfield. That was a big storyline, one of the best of the year. So what's his name again? Drew Gilbert, who loves, getting touchy with the boys a little bit, starts this celebration in the center field where they start humping out every time they get a win. MLB came in and they said, you're not allowed to do this. Unfortunately, the celebration was so sick, they couldn't stop it. The Mets started doing it. The Frederick Keys did it after a game. But I think maybe the Mets did it. That kind of ruined it because it hasn't worked out for them. But even though they banned it, MLB, according to the reports, the Giants brought it back that same week. Then they started doing different iterations of it, where they was humping once, humping twice, getting penalty flags for humping too much. They do another hump celebration. Unfortunately, we thought these hump celebrations were going to bring them out of the dead. It really didn't. They continued to suck and currently in 4th place. Their playoff odds right now are damn near 0, I would say. One thing about the 0.5% playoff odds.
I'm shocked they're not
lower.
0.
Yeah. Lower than that. Rafael Devers, another terrible thing to look at. $226 million left on his contract. Currently has a 784 OPS. That would be the lowest OPS of his career for a season. He's hit great since May, but he did have his controversy when he got pinch hit for and refused to leave the game. Got caught walking back in his dugout, waving off his manager, waving off the pinch hitter. He comes in, Cox is like, come on, I'm supposed to pinch hit for you. Devers is like, no, go back, bro. No, I'm going to stay in the game, bro. I don't want to get pinch hit for it. Go. Cox is like, dude, they told me I have to. He's like, no, go.
This is the funniest little freeze frame where you see Cox like, I don't know what to do.
He's like, bro, I'm here.
I've been told to come out on the field.
Devers says, I'm the captain now. Rubs his forehead, goes back in the dugout, and is not happy. So this caused a bunch of drama. Giants fans are upset at him. His old manager makes a tweet saying, but, seems like his old manager isn't a fan of him either. Now, this is a guy who got traded from Boston to the Giants last season, was a big deal, and just hasn't worked out for him. Not been great for the Giants, and they also have the Pride Night fiasco. That got them in trouble. They also have Logan Webb, their star pitcher, who called a reporter a loser, then deleted his own Twitter. That wasn't good. They currently have the third worst record in the NL with 0.5% chances to make the playoffs. The reports is that they're trying to trade anyone they can because they have a ton of massive contracts on the books. So if you're looking for people to trade for, they're on the Giants. So Robbie Ray might get traded. Rafael Devers, they'd like to trade him if they can. Willie Adames is on the trade block. Matt Chapman, he's on the trade block. Luis Ariz potentially will be traded. And even Jung-Hoo Lee could potentially be traded. So look out. If you want to trade, call the Giants. We do shout out Bryce Eldridge, though. Rookie, 21-year-old kid, having a great season. But other than that, it's a bunch of...
You suck.
In San Francisco. But you know what? It's all right. At the moment, they're only currently 20 and a half games back of the Dodgers. So if they get hot, maybe they can beat the Dodgers. Actually, I don't think anyone's beating the Dodgers. Where do the Dodgers stand right now?
11 and a half games up. So they could go on a 10-game losing streak, and they'd still be in first.
Yep. They're a pretty good team, the Dodgers. Dodgers, best record in baseball, best run differential in baseball. What do they rank in offense?
Dodgers are third in runs.
Third best offense in baseball and runs, best OPS in baseball, best on-base percentage in baseball, best ERA in baseball for starters, best whip for starters, seventh best relief pitching in baseball. They got the best player in baseball, and two of their top pitchers haven't even pitched this year. That would be Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow. They're waiting to get those guys back. Once they get back, I mean, what's going to happen then?
They're going to have too many starting pitchers.
Yeah. The biggest storyline for them, but despite all that, has been Dalton Rushing. He's stolen the show. Become the most hated player in baseball.
While being a backup.
The backup catcher is stealing the headlines for all of his controversies. I don't know if we need to go over all of those. I might have a fucking panic attack. What stuck out to you for the Dodgers? Other than Rushing.
I think Freddie Freeman actually has had a pretty underrated year. Love to hate on Freddie because I'm a sour Braves fan, but he started the year off pretty badly. He went on paternity leave and then he came back and he was one of the worst. He was having one of the worst hitting seasons of his career. Then he turns it around, makes the All-Star game, is the All-Star starter, and he just refuses to age. A 133 WRC plus, it's his lowest as a Dodger, but that would have been his like fourth highest as a Brave. So he's just been one of the most consistent hitters since 2011. Just will not age.
Yep, and the Dodgers got him as well. So the Dodgers, as of June 22nd, they have 100% chance to make the playoffs. So it's basically over for them. They can start resting their guys, which they already are doing. Shohei Ohtani, they're resting him. Blake Snell, they got him rested. They got Tyler Glasnow rested. It seems kind of like what they did last year, where a lot of these guys didn't really pitch a lot, didn't really perform that much, and then when they got to the playoffs, were all 100% and won the World Series. And right now, they have the best odds to win the World Series. According to Fangraphs, their chances to win the World Series are 25%. So they have a 1 in 4 chance to win the World Series. Pretty damn good. The Dodgers. But let's not sleep on their rivals, the Padres, who have gone the opposite direction. So there was a small time where the Dodgers did give up the division lead. What day was that when the Dodgers lost to the Padres?
It was May 18.
So on May 18th, the Padres surpassed the Dodgers and got into first place.
And that is where the MLB season ended for San Diego Padres fans.
Yes. So since May 18th, the San Diego Padres, they were looking so good, are, oh, fuck.
So since the day after, so May 19, they've gone 20-32, which is the tied for the fourth worst record in baseball.
So they're the fourth worst team. 21-32 is what you said?
20, what did I say? 20-32.
20-32. Third worst record in baseball since May 18th. And it's been absolutely terrible. The biggest story has probably been Fernando Tatis Jr., who went how long without a fucking home run?
He did not homer for the first 2 full months of the season.
2 months without a home run. This is a guy who hit 40 home runs in a season. Did he lead the league in that year?
I don't think so because he got injured. No, wait. Yeah, he did. 42 home runs led the NL in 2021.
So in 2021, he led the league in home runs, 42 home runs. That next year, he got suspended for performance-enhancing drugs and then goes 2 entire months without a single home run. I think he was one of 3 qualified hitters not to have a home run on the season. So far this year, he has got a 107 OPS plus, which is about a league average hitter. So it's not gotten much better for Tatis. And it's not gotten much better for the Padres. Another big disappointment for them. What the fuck are they Padres going to do, bro?
Probably nothing.
What's the weakness? According to reports, their star closer, the one thing they're good at is their bullpen because they got Mason Miller, the best closer in baseball. Now he is on the trade market, so that could be a massive deadline trade. But going back to what you were saying, Mitchell.
I mean, everything. Like, their offense is terrible. Ty France is having a good year, and that's it. Everyone else is underperforming. Manny Machado heading under 200 again. Had 19 homers hitting under 200. Bogarts is not good. Cronenworth has not been good. Freddie Fermin, who they acquired last trade deadline to be a decent hitting catcher, 46 OPS plus. Merrill's bad.
Merrill's terrible.
They had Nick Castellanos.
Didn't work out.
He was bad. They released him in Philadelphia.
Ever since then, they got even worse, bro. They should have kept him, bro. He was a clubhouse.
He was their vibes guy?
He was their vibes guy, bro. They got rid of the vibes guy. What do you think is going to happen? So a lineup with Fernando Tatis Jr., Jackson Merrill, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Jake Cronenworth is currently the 27th worst offense in baseball for runs, 29th in OPS, and 29th in average. They also have the 27th worst starting pitching staff. Fuck, it's time to call off Yu Darvish. I mean, fuck, bro. Griffin Canning, that hasn't worked out. Negative .8 WAR. Walker Buehler's got a negative WAR. German Marquez. German Marquez? German or German?
Herman.
Close. Negative 2.2 WAR. So 4 to 5 of their starting staff don't even have 1 WAR on the season. The only pitcher worth a shit in the starting staff is Michael King. Maybe they trade him. I don't fucking know. But they got to do something because it's not working out for the Padres. The downfall needs to be studied. Right now, the Padres, they have fallen to third place in the NL West, 1 game below 500. However, I don't want to put a bow on it, Mitch, because they are just 2.5 games back of a playoff spot. And they got the pieces. They could put it together. Would you be surprised if they put it together?
I wouldn't bet on it. I don't bet, but I wouldn't bet on that particularly.
No, Mitchell doesn't bet, guys. Make that clear. But they were a first 10 place team in May, bro. Only 2.5 games back. It ain't over yet, bro. What if Manny Machado gets hot? I think he's been hitting better. Tatis can get hot. And this could be all forgotten about. They can go to the playoffs, upset the Dodgers, and they go, LA sucks. LA beat LA. beat LA, and it'll be electric. That's my prediction. In front of them, you got the Diamondbacks, who have stayed low-key this year. What do you got in the Diamondbacks for me, Mitch?
They had this stretch where their pitching staff just was the worst pitching staff to ever exist. They had a span of a week and a half. They had 4 different starting pitchers allow 6+ earned runs in a game. But since then, they've actually been not that bad. They have the 9th best ERA, starting pitching ERA since May 4. They've got some issues with Ketel Marte, maybe. There have been reports that there were frustrations within the organization about him taking days off. And Toy Lavello said that was not a thing, but like we saw with the Mets, sometimes they say it's not.
Manager's got to say that.
They also had this stretch where Ildemaro Vargas was like the best hitter in baseball. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Just like, I think he was hitting 400 at one point, and then he fell off. So it's been an up and down season all around for Arizona.
But they're a second-place team. Let's not forget.
And they swept the Dodgers right before the break, which we did not cover a whole lot.
That's a big momentum shift, dude. And that's personal, dude. That's going against your rival and saying, motherfucker, we're not going to go down lightly. You might have 100% chances to make the playoffs, but we're not out of it yet either. So the Diamondbacks right now only have a 28% chance to make the playoffs, according to Fangraphs, but they only 0.5 games out of a wild card spot. Now, this is a team that has been carried by their offense the past few years. This year, their offense is not as great. They are 18th in runs. They do have Corbin Carroll, who's been a beast. He's an all-star again, still hitting great, 124 OPS plus on the year. Mitchell said Edmario Varez, who I'm not going to pronounce his first name right, but just know I love you, bro. He carried them for the first month. Since then, he sucked. But, yeah, the pitching's not great, like you said. They also have injuries in the pitching staff. Zach Gallen fell off a cliff, man. We don't know what happened to him. He's got a 6.34 ERA. Now he's on the IL. Ryan Nelson, 4.97 ERA. He's on the IL. Michael Soroka had a resurrection. 3.07 ERA for them this year, was doing amazing, but now he's on the IL. It's unfortunate. And Merrill Kelly also in the same boat as Zach Gallen, who is, on the decline. 5.2 ERA, a negative WAR. However, Eduardo Rodriguez has shocked many this year and has been amazing. 2.62 ERA for Eduardo Rodriguez.
They've also had a resurgence from Brandon Pfaadt, who they had signed to a big extension before the season. He sucked. They moved him to the bullpen. They didn't like what they saw from the bullpen. They sent him to the minors. They called him back up at the end of June. He's made 4 starts since then. He's gone 21 innings, has a 2.14 ERA, and a 2.77 FIP. So it looks like whatever he did in the minor leagues, I think Reno, right? He has regained that pitching status that made him a pretty big prospect and got him a big contract.
Wait, Brandon Pfaadt?
Brandon Pfaadt.
The Pfaadt bot? Did they not put him in the bullpen?
They did put him in the bullpen.
Sorry,
and they didn't like it.
My bad. I know Mitchell just went on a great speech. I totally did not know one word you just said because I had to respond to a message.
Replying to a message on the job.
It's a work message, you motherfucker. So go ahead and say what you said again. The last minute on the...
Brandon Pfaadt. He's been good the last month.
Love it. The Pfaadt bot. The Pfaadt bot, baby.
Joey's making deals during the pod. He's like the GM.
I'm the owner. GM, shortstop.
Did we just trade
what
Jack?
could the message possibly be? Oh, I got traded. Did you see my trade announcement?
You got traded.
I got traded.
Which podcast did you send Jack to?
I'm playing fifth base for the Rays. $79 million, 79 months. Vibes guy.
No, bitch. You got traded. You got traded to... Baseball's dead, bro. Anyway, Jack has a no trade clause, so he vetoed the trade.
How did Jack get a no trade clause?
Yeah.
How did you negotiate that?
He's got an agent.
You don't have an agent?
Shoot, no.
Jack's Jewish, so he's got an agent. I'm literally kidding around.
I am Jewish.
I'm kidding around, bro. All right, listen. We have to talk about the Rockies. It's important that we cover them. The Rockies right now, as it stands today, if the season ends today, the Rockies would not make the playoffs. Unfortunately, if you're a Rockies fan, but that does not mean they didn't have a great days. They started the Tarps Off movement. That's the best thing they did all year. First Tarps Off movement. St. Louis gets credit because they started off it, but a few weeks earlier, they had a Tarps Off game. People forget. They also had a game in the snow against the Dodgers, right?
And the Mets.
And they had 2 snow games. 3 inches of snow before a game. The Rockies brought in a plow. They shoveled the rest of the field. 34-degree weather. Got down to 27 degrees. They played the fucking game. Did they win the game?
No idea.
Damn. We don't know if they won the game, but they played the game. And
Was this the... No. I thought there was a game Tomoyuki Sugano outdueled someone after a snow game, but this was definitely not the game. Because it looks like Shohei Ohtani went 2 for 3 off of him.
well, unfortunately, the Rockies are 40-61, 21 games below 500. They are in last place. However, they do have some trade pieces they could trade.
Hunter Goodman.
Hunter Goodman, who has 30 home runs for the Rockies. Amazing. Maybe someone bites on him. TJ Rumfield's having a great year at the plate, too. Maybe someone bites on him. Any of these pitchers could get traded. They already traded one of them.
As we were recording, they traded Seth Halverson to the Dodgers.
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Lorenzen goes somewhere. Maybe someone wants to take a stab at Tomoyuki Sagano. We'll have to see. But I don't think the Rockies are going to make it this year.
Bold prediction. That's your big prediction for the second half?
That's my hot take. That's my hot take.
Wait, can we cut that out and then have me say it to give me some credibility?
Yeah, just say it again.
I don't think the Rockies are going to win the World Series this year. I don't think they're going to do it.
Oh, my God. Sorry. I was just thinking, what's the website that has all the payrolls? Spot Track. Well, Jack said it. He doesn't think the Rockies are going to make the playoffs, and Fangraphs agrees. According to them, they have a 0% chance to make the playoffs. So, Jack, dude, you got it.
0% is like really low.
It's disrespectful, honestly, because there's always a chance. So, yeah, the Rockies have been eliminated by baseball. Doesn't exist. Sucks to suck. But you know what's funny is that the Rockies, who 21 games under 500, have a $136 million payroll. The Tampa Bay Rays, they have a $108 million payroll. So $30 million less, about 1/4, 25% less in payroll, yet they are 24 games above 500. 40 games better. Sorry, no, not 40 games better, but a lot better than the Rockies. And the Rays, they've done it by means, like the Rays usually do, untraditional ways. They're last in barrel percentage, last in barrels, last in hard hit balls, last in hard hit percentage, 27th in balls in the air percentage. They are 25th in home runs, yet they are 24 games over 500 and have the best record in the AL. So they basically done the opposite of what every team has done over the past few years, which is try to hit the ball hard and try to hit it in the air. The Rays said, fuck that. We're going to get a bunch of guys who just hit it softly, hit it on the ground, make a lot of contact, and we're going to see what happens. And it's worked perfectly. So they're in first place. They've been in first place for a while. They have, I think, the 3rd best run differential in the AL, but the best record in the AL. They also, of their 5 starters, only one of them was a full-time starter last year. So Nick Martinez hasn't been a full-time starter since 2021. That was in Japan. He was an all-star this season. Steven Matz wasn't a full-time starter since 2021. He was a full-time starter. He had a great start to the season, but I think he's injured right now. Shane McClanahan hasn't pitched since 2023 since he got injured. He's had a great season. Griffin Jackson hasn't pitched since 2021. Drew Rasmussen had a 5 ERA out of the bullpen before the Rays traded for him. That was in 2021. Yeah, despite all of this, they have the 6th best starters ERA in baseball, and that is why they are the best team in the AL. Also, Junior Caminero. Is that how you say it? Junior Caminero. 22 years old, 2nd full season, 2nd All-Star appearance, 2nd home run derby appearance, hit 8 home runs in 6 games, has 13 home runs in 21 games, has a 920 OPS on the season, 8th best hitter in baseball according to OPS, and that's all you got to know. The Rays basically are a team that just has a bunch of guys that's created a calculator lab to make them the best, even though none of the individuals are that good. Together, they are amazing. Plus, Junior Caminero, who is probably one of the best young players in the league, probably maybe the best.
Yeah, he has 81 career homers, and he's in his age 22 season. That is ridiculous.
He's on pace for Barry Bonds, you tell me?
I mean, technically.
So shout out to the Rays, who have embarrassed the Yankees. Because the Yankees were a first-place team until June 18th. Then they lost 15 out of 20 games. They went from being up 3.5 games to being down 5 games. During that stretch, they had the worst offense in baseball. Cody Bellinger fell off a cliff. Goldschmidt fell off a cliff. Jazz Chisholm fell off a cliff. And Aaron Judge got injured. And since then, it's not been great. So Aaron Judge got injured trying to make a catch. And he's been out since June. And it doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon, right?
No, they keep having updates about Aaron Judge. And each update is like he's not ready to go on rehab yet.
No, so the Yankees, who got off to an amazing start, their pitching staff looked amazing, their batters looked amazing, they were leading the AL and everything, they had the best record in the AL, had a little bit of a tough June. After they lost Aaron Judge, they didn't actually fall off a cliff until like a couple weeks later, but from between June 18th until basically the start of July, they were the worst team in baseball. I think it was like a 4-20-something stretch where they couldn't do shit. Jazz Chisholm has not been short of entertaining this year. Jazz Chisholm went in the year predicting he'd go 50-50, meaning 50 home runs and 50 steals. First 23 games of the season, he batted 173. Then he started wearing Trent Grisham's pants, started going off. In June, he used Aaron Judge's bat in home runs. So then he's using Aaron Judge's bat all year. In June, he went on the Jimmy Fallon show and said the Yankees would win the World Series. Then a Guardians announcer said, quote, "Pretty amazing you got to go on the Jimmy Fallon show batting .239, sending shots at Jazz Chisholm." What does Jazz Chisholm do?
Jazz Chisholm Jew.
What did Jazz Chisholm do? Hit a home run in his fucking face. Then he hits a foul ball and hits himself in the balls. Has to leave the game because he hit himself in the balls, but refuses to wear a cup, which is pretty badass, by the way. I think so. Then he has a thing where he plays the infield with a sucker in his mouth. Gets caught with the lollipop in his mouth in the infield. His manager comes out and says he doesn't like it, that he's going to tell Jazz Chisholm not to do that, and that he's pissed off about it. Jazz Chisholm, know what he does to respond to that? Hits a home run the next day, goes to the dugout, grabs the lollipops. Manager says, you know what? He can have all the lollipops he wants now.
I mean, where is the lollipop ad? Like, there needs to be a Tootsie Pop commercial. I forgot what brand was it again?
But we don't know because there's no ad.
I clipped it up in our last video.
Wasn't it Double Bubble?
Double Bubble.
It's like I didn't even know they made lollipops.
I didn't either, actually. Maybe it was just a container. Either way, he needs to get on a fucking sponsorship. I want to see commercials. It's just like Skittles with Marshawn Lynch, you know?
He could be the next Marshawn Lynch if he was a little better at baseball. But even though Jazz has been about a league average hitter this year, he has brought the energy and has brought the storyline. So we love that about Jazz. And the Yankees, even though the Yankees are not a first-place team, they've squandered their first-place lead. They've fallen behind the Rays. I got to be honest, I'm not too worried about them. They're 10th in runs, 4th in starters ERA, second best bullpen in the league in ERA. So I think they're in a good spot. Aaron Judge is coming back. I'm not too worried about the Yankees. They got Ben Rice, who's had an amazing year. Cody Bellinger's had a great year. They're both all-stars. Cam Schlittler is the best pitcher in baseball, at least in the American League. He leads the American League in WAR, leads the American League in ERA, leads in innings pitched, and he's an all-star as well. So despite the recent struggles, I'd put them as American League favorites. Would you not, Mitchell?
It's really hard to see what they've done over the last month and say, yeah, this is just a bad stretch. I mean, the Tigers had a bad stretch. The Braves have had a bad stretch. Both of those teams have come out of it. We haven't really seen the Yankees come out of it. They did sweep the Nationals to end the first half, but they got to face the Nationals bullpen to end the first half. I don't know if I'd put them at their favorite, but again, the American League is kind of... underwhelming.
Shit. So Mitchell's not believing in the Yankees, but the Fangraphs does. They say they have a better chance to win the division than the Rays, even though they're behind the Rays. 52.3% chance to win the division, even though they're not even winning it right now, and a 96% chance to make the playoffs. I would say they have the best chance to make the World Series of any AL team. Just based on their roster, how they've played this year, even though it hasn't been great as of late. Paul Goldschmidt's hitting well. I mean, they have individual seasons have been great. Ben Rice has shown he's an elite player. Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge. Cody Bellinger's had a great season. Schlittler's had a great freaking season. Garrett Cole has shown that he can throw 100 miles per hour. That counts for something. Not to mention they've lost Max Fried for a lot of the season. He'll probably come back. Also, Rodon has missed some time, but before missing time, he had a 3.3 ERA, so that is why I have faith in the Yankees. Yankees fans, I think you're in a good spot. The Blue Jays, however, not so much. So the Blue Jays, Shane Bieber, Trey Savage, Luzardo Estrada, Addison Barger, Alejandro Kirk, George Springer, Max Scherzer, Nathan Lukes, Tommy Nance, Dylan Cease, Dalton Varsho, Addison Barger, Lennon Sosa, Jesus Sanchez, Yimi Garcia, and Anthony Santander, Bowden Francis, Cody Ponce, Joe Mantiply, Jose Barrios. That's their injured list. Should I say that again?
I think you should say it one more time.
I think I'm going to not. That was 40 fucking names. Not to mention Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who is an all-star this year, so we can't shit on him too hard. Had to miss the all-star game with a back injury, so that's not a good sign. But also, 6 home runs this year?
Tatis has more homers than Guerrero.
Let that sink in. Fernando Tatis Jr. has more home runs than Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who's still an all-star, though, so I guess he's hitting great, just not for power?
No, it's because the entire country of Canada decided to vote in all the Blue Jays.
Yeah. So he doesn't even deserve the all-star nod, you think?
No.
So they're calling a contract a mistake?
Some are saying that.
So yeah, it's rough for the Blue Jays, and it's a lot of it has to do with injuries. I mean, you hear all those fucking injuries? How do you have all those injuries?
There are 2 injuries specifically. Max Scherzer and Addison Barger. 2 of their players went on the injured list, came back, played 1 game, and then went right back on the injured list.
That's a double whammy.
Barger, he came off the injured list. He made this great throw at home, got an outfield assist. The next day, he's on the IL with elbow inflammation.
Come on, guys. You got to stretch, bro. So, maybe that's just because they had a short offseason. So this was a World Series fucking team, 1 out away from winning it all. 1 inch away.
1 lead off third base.
1 strike away. I don't know. But they almost won the World Series. Doesn't look like they're going to win it this year. So in 2026, they were the 4th worst offense by runs scored, 9th worst offense by WRC plus. Let me say it this way, actually, because I forgot to say the first part. In 2025, last season, they had the 4th best offense in baseball. This year, they had the 4th worst offense in baseball. Let that sink in. George Springer has the second largest drop in slugging in MLB. That's another big loss. Vladdy has the 14th largest drop in slugging in MLB. That's another big loss. Dalton Varsho had a 120 OPS last season. He's got an 88 OPS this season. That's a big loss. And the Blue Jays, but, luckily they're in the AL, so they're not completely out of it. They have a big injured list. That means they're going to get healthier, right? They're going to get healthier. They can't get more unhealthy.
I see 4 out for the seasons.
Okay, 4 out for the seasons, but the rest of them probably coming back this season. They're in last place, 10.5 games back of first place, but only 4.5 games back of a wild card spot. So it ain't over, man. It ain't over. But God, what an unfortunate turn of events for the Blue Jays, who were Canada's team and a World Series appearing team last season. The Orioles are down there with them. The Orioles... Biggest story of the season for the Orioles is when Jeremiah Jackson drilled his own manager in the face with a foul ball, then hit 2 home runs. Their manager, Craig Alvarez, who went viral for grabbing his player's ass a lot, slapped his ass in a lot of ways. They're calling him Craig Albert Ass. That was a great storyline earlier in the year. Got hit in the face with the ball, had to get stitches, and the guy, after hitting him in the face, hit a grand slam. So good luck. it was getting hit in the face with a foul ball for Craig Alvarez. Had to eat baby food for 6 weeks. That's gross. So the Orioles, who had a very disappointing season all year, have kind of turned it around of late. So 7 games in a row. They are now just currently 2 games under 500. Back in May, they were 8 games under 500. Their playoff odds got down to 13.5%. But they're currently just 2 games back of a playoff spot for the Orioles. So I don't know. Do we have hope for the Orioles?
They've had a hot and cold season. I think like Shane Baz didn't really turn it on until he faced the Rays. They had signed him to an extension. Trevor Rogers had this month-long stretch where he forgot how to pitch. Even their hitters, Pete Alonso started off slow. Adley Rutschman has been in and out with, I think he had like a concussion, didn't he?
Adley?
Yeah,
he got hit in the face with a ball. Missed time with a concussion.
Colton Cowser was really bad until he hit 2 walk-off homers in 2 consecutive days.
Yeah, but that was a while ago.
He's been okay since then. He was really bad before that. Now he's just been pretty average. I don't know. I feel like this could be a team we're sleeping on.
For sure.
Going in the second half.
For sure. They got upside. I mean, Gunnar Henderson, I still believe he's a great player. He has not played like a great player. 90 OPS plus. He only has 17 home runs on the year. So if he turns it on, there you go. Tyler O'Neill, he's a guy who can get hot. He sucked the first half of the year. He could definitely get hot. He's probably due to get hot. He always gets hot for at least a few weeks of a season. He's on pace. Is he not the guy who always does that? Goes a week and has 14 home runs?
Then he also goes on this really hot stretch, and then at the peak of his hot stretch, he'll like tear a bicep.
Okay, so we're still waiting for that. But Adley Rutschman's had a great comeback year. He's back being an all-star. Pete Alonso in his first season in Baltimore has performed up to par. 21 home runs for him. And they got momentum on their side. So fuck it, bro. They're a playoff team, man. I want to see it. I want to see Jackson Holiday break out. We're still waiting for that. Still only 22 years old. That's my second half prediction. He will break out. My second half prediction is that he will turn 23 years old. Hopefully. But like I said, the Orioles, 2 games under 500, just 2 games back of a wild card spot, and have won 7 in a row. They have flipped the script, and they're back. They're back. Then you got the Red Sox, who just like them are hot as fuck. We did cover the Red Sox pretty much in enough depth on top of the episode, so I don't know if we have to reiterate their season. They fired fucking everybody, and everyone wanted to kill him and fire the manager and kill the owner and throw him in the Allegheny River with me. You know, they always try to get the guys like us, but, you know, what do? We persevere. They've won 13 games in a row. Now they're just 6 games back of first place and are in a playoff spot. So the Rays are in first, the Yankees are in second, the Boston Red Sox are in third, the Orioles are in fourth, and the Blue Jays are in fifth. But all 5 of them, man, they got a fucking shot. There's not a single team in this division who can't make it. They're all buyers. I don't know if the Blue Jays are going to be buyers, but everyone else should be buyers. And we'll see. Maybe the Blue Jays sell. I don't know if they're like a kind of franchise that wants to sell, though. Just because they kind of feels like they kind of are going all in on that franchise to be the best they could be at all times. But moving on.
They are the New York of Canada, so they got to be spending.
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And we're going to the AL West, which I got to be honest with you guys. The AL West, it's been the worst division in baseball, and it's been the least exciting division in baseball, just because there's really no team that's really been that great in the AL West. It's been a lot of just.
Ugh.
It's been some. I mean, the best team in the AL West right now is the Texas Rangers. They are 1 game above 500 and have a negative 31 run differential. That is the best team in the AL West. And I don't even know, what is the biggest storyline of the Rangers this year?
Yeah. Like, I was going through all of our documents this week. I was going through Reddit, Twitter, Rangers.com, The Athletic, anything on the Rangers. And there were 2 things, really. It was just Jock Peterson, who had a bad start to the year getting heckled and turning shit around, and them signing Chris Paddock for 1 game because he threw a good changeup. And this was from a TikTok that I saw, not even any of the other sources. I should shout out the guy who made this TikTok. Alexander the swag on TikTok pointed out that Chris Paddock had a good changeup and the Guardians struggled against the changeup. Paddock had a near 7 ERA, pitched 4 innings for the Rangers against the Guardians, allowed 2 runs, and then was immediately released. Paddock said before the game, "It's another opportunity for me. This one meant a little more having Texas across my chest." He's a native of Austin, so he got to live out his dream for 4 innings.
Shout out to Chris Paddock.
But yeah, I mean, the Rangers, I think the Rangers are up there with the Twins, where it's like, they're not bad. Obviously, the Rangers are a first place team, but they don't have many exciting things from this first half.
They lack a little pizzazz. They're 24th in runs, 18th in starters ERA, 17th in relievers ERA, yet they are in first place. Jock Peterson, like Mitchell said, comeback year. Love to see that. Unfortunately, Corey Seager has been hurt for most of the year. That's not great. Brandon Nimmo, that's a offseason acquisition that's worked out. He's played great for them. You're kind of disappointed in their pitching staff. Like Eovaldi's taking a step back, 4.21 ERA. He's 36. That might be, over the hill type situation. Speaking of over the hill, Jacob deGrom, 38. I wouldn't say he's over the hill. He's had a good season, but not, elite by any means. 3.49 ERA. Mackenzie Gore, which was an offseason acquisition.
They traded a lot of prospects to get Gore.
Yep, and he hasn't been pitching well. So, and then you got Kumar Rocker, who in the same boat, 4.4 ERA, not great. So, listen, I think they have a strong pitching staff. All those guys are pitching below what they probably should be. So, you can look at that 2 ways. They're disappointing or room for growth. Strong second half for the Rangers, who currently are in first place. But according to Fangraphs, it's actually the Mariners who have a better chance to make the playoffs. The Mariners right now, according to Fangraphs.com, have a 75% chance to make the playoffs and are 500, 50-50, 500, 0.5 games back of first place. Biggest story with them, it's a lot of negative shit with them too, bro. Cal Raleigh is completely fallen off a cliff, and we don't really know why, other than the oblique injury. That might be enough of an explanation, but he was injured. I think he had one of the worst stretches in MLB history, didn't he?
He went 0 for 38. In that stretch, his OPS dropped from 707 to 559. Hasn't come back above 600 since then. He broke the streak and then went right on the IL. He missed over a month.
Yeah, so negative 0.3 WAR coming off a second place MVP voting for Cal Raleigh. Not going to get it done. Josh Naylor, who was great for them last year, has a negative WAR as well. Got into a couple fights. Allegedly tried to stab his minor league roommate. Unfortunately, he's not playing that well. They're only all-star in the lineup. Actually, they're only all-star at all. They had one all-star.
Randy was their only all-star?
Randy Arozarena, who has a 3.1 WAR, has hit amazing, but he got in trouble for not hustling last week. Fans aren't happy with that. Randy, you got to pick it up. So the energy is low in the Mariners land. Fortunately for them, they still have a strong pitching staff. So the big problem with them forever has been they can't fucking hit, right? But they can pitch amazing. Last year was the year they broke the playoff streak. They won a series in the playoffs. Were 1 game away from the World Series. And that was the year that their offense, out of nowhere, was amazing. And their pitching staff kind of took a step back. But they've went right back to what they usually do. Their offense sucks. 28th in offense, yet they have the 5th best starting pitching staff in baseball. And not only is it strong, it's deep. So they have 6 starters this year. There was some controversy because they had too many starters. They were doing this piggybacking method, which, did they get rid of that already?
It is dead.
It's dead. So they're just going with a 6-man rotation. That's Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, George Kirby, Emerson Hancock, Luis Castillo, and Bryce Miller. I believe 5 out of 6 of those players have been all-stars in the past. None of them were all-stars this year. However, none of them are doing too bad. I mean, Luis Castillo's done the worst. He's got a negative 0.6 WAR. That's tough. 4.93 ERA. But everyone else has, pulled their weight. Maybe not as good as they've been in the past, but still, bro. I mean, you got to, if you look at this division, it's definitely the Mariners to lose. Even though they're down a half game, it's their division to lose. And if I had to put money on it, That's who I put my money on. Probably wouldn't be on the Astros, but the Astros have surprised me a little bit as well. I mean, can you say that?
I feel like the Astros are one of those teams, like recently, where you're like, oh, it's time to count out the Astros. Their run's over, and then you're like, they're the Astros.
The Astros are the Astros, but you might have to start calling them the Yordan Alvarezes because he might be the only guy on the team worth a shit this year. Yordan Alvarez, who's actually looking like he's going to be the AL MVP, maybe?
I think it's his award to lose. He's leading the league in pretty much everything. Like hits, home runs, RBIs, batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, OPS plus, intentional walks. He's the best hitter in the American League right now.
So Yordan Alvarez, like Mitchell said, leads the league in everything. I just have to check this out real quick. So between the top 3 teams in the AL West, that is the Mariners, the Astros, and the Rangers, they have a combined 4 All-Stars. 3 teams, 4 All-Stars. Granted, every team's required to have an All-Star. So 3 is guaranteed. They have 1 extra All-Star. The Astros have 1 All-Star. That's Yordan Alvarez. The Mariners have 1 All-Star. That's Randy Arozarena. And the you want to guess who the All-Stars were? Sorry. I apologize. Out of the top 3 teams in the AL West, they have 3 All-Stars combined. All 3 teams have 1 All-Star, the required amount. Yordan Alvarez, the only All-Star on the Astros. Randy Arozarena, the only Astros All-Star on the Mariners. And you want to guess who the only Astros All-Star on the Rangers is?
I'm looking, but
You'll never guess it in a million years. I mean, you might, because you know ball.
we
but
watched him pitch, but yeah. Jack, any ideas? Who
Jack's never heard of him in his life. But yeah, take a guess. Who do you think the Astros, the Rangers All-Star pitcher was? I even gave him a hint.
Diego Salamente?
Close. Jacob Latz.
Tell me Diego Salamente doesn't sound like a real player for sure.
That does. That sounds like a good player.
Sounds like a disarm. Disarm's
That right? Yeah, it does have a this. What is his name?
Dan Sarmento.
Shout out to Dan Sarmento. Jacob Latz, the closer for the Rangers. That's their only All-Star. So the top 3 teams in the AL West has 3 All-Stars combined. Not good. And the Astros, who their biggest problem is what they had every single fucking player on their pitching staff was on the IL at one point. They started the season as the worst pitching staff in baseball. They've gotten a little better, and they stuck in the race, but it's still not looking too great for them. They are how many games out of first?
4.
4 games out of first place and third place, 28th starting pitching staff in baseball. A lot of injuries. They just traded Lance McCullers Jr., end of an era. I mean, the Astros team today is not the Astros team of old. So they've traded McCullers. Carlos Correa's out for the season. You still got Altuve. You still got Pena. You got Yordan. You got the big 3 there. But other than that, it's kind of a new cast of characters. And they're not playing too hot. But they are playing better than the Athletics, who have gone on one of the most horrific stretches of the season. So the Oakland Athletics of Sacramento, Las Vegas, oh my gosh. They've won 2 games since June 27th. 2 games, Mitchell. How many days was June 27th? Days ago.
Is that 24?
It was 1 day.
I was so close.
Was that 1 day or?
How many days was it?
1.2.
Well, since then they have a 2-15 record. You want to guess what their ERA is?
10.
Bro, let's see. Oh, fuck.
Well, I'm just waiting.
7.45. So the Athletics, their problem is they can't pitch for shit. Unfortunately, they had a couple days in first place earlier in the year, but the pitching rotation has fallen apart. They're 29th in starting pitching ERA and 30th in relief pitching ERA, guys. Not only are they the second worst at starting, they are the worst at relieving. They fired their pitching coach. So it's time for a new era. I know that guy had been there forever, but he is no longer there. It sucks because they are in a terrible ballpark for pitching. Doesn't get enough credit, but it's basically the new Coors Field over there in Sacramento. But yeah, every single one of their starters, other than Gage Jump, who's done pretty good in 52 innings, has an ERA over 4. And hurts worse, Luis Severino, I believe he's out for the season. So
Their playoff odds went from 48.3% just a month ago to 0.8.
So you're saying there's a shot?
there is a 0.8% shot that the Athletics can make history. But what are the Angels' playoff odds? That's the more important question.
0.
0% playoff odds for the Angels. The biggest story for the Angels for the 10th. No, I wouldn't say the 10th because there was that 2023 season when Shohei Ohtani was there. The biggest story is Mike Trout going to get traded? So for the 100th year in a row, the question presents itself. Is this the year Mike Trout gets traded? Mitchell, is it?
No.
No, he probably will not get traded. He will.
I do think the Phillies fans were trying to what's the word? Butter him up a little bit this All-Star game. They were like, this is what you could get if you come back home.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's interested.
No, he's got a lot left on that contract. He's slowed down a bit. Still an all-star. So Mike Trout, tip your cap to Mike Trout, who still continues to play at an elite level. Stayed pretty much healthy this year other than one short stint on the IL. However, the Angels, they just done what the Angels do every year. They fired the general manager. They have the 25th worst starting pitching staff. And really nothing to get excited for.
They did have the Joe Adele game where Joe Adele had probably the best defensive game ever. Robbed 3 home runs. He was a Gold Glove finalist in 2024, third worst defensive outfielder in 2025. 3 robbed home runs. The Angels won 1-0. And in this game, he was credited for 5 defensive runs saved and 0.32 outs above average, which is just like using a distance and time calculation. But in every other game this year, Joe Adele has been worth -10 defensive runs saved and -5 outs above average. So the worst defensive outfielder had the best defensive game this year.
Unbelievable. Yeah, and it gave us the best picture of the season, I'd say. The best photo maybe taken in MLB history, where Joe Adele's crazy game, where he robbed. Who'd he rob? So Cal Raleigh smokes a liner in the first. Catches it. Sorry, was it hit him first?
I think it went Raleigh, Naylor, Crawford.
Oh, then in the 8th, Josh Naylor smokes a fly ball. Would have been a homer in 10 out of 30 parks. Nope. Take it back. J.B. Crawford, he thought he got one in the 9th. Joe Adele, 3 home runs robbed in one game. If he wouldn't have done that, the Angels would have been even worse. So instead, they are in last.
They went from last to last.
39-61 for the Angels. Well, Angels fans, it will get better. Maybe they can trade some guys. Reed Detmers is on the block.
We should start bumping the last team down to the minors and bumping up more. You know what I mean? Do a relegation system.
Well, the problem with the relegating is you just switch because the minor leagues are all major league affiliated.
Yeah, it doesn't actually work.
He was actually kidding, Mitch.
It was a joke, but I should have known Mitchell would take it seriously and be like, "We can't do that for obvious reasons."
No, I'm all for relegating the Athletics or the Angels out of here, but maybe they get relegated to Japan or something. You know, we call up.
Fuck it, Little League.
Yeah, we just call up the best Japanese team.
I would love the Bowie Bay Sox to be a major league team.
Who's that?
The Bowie Bay Sox.
I don't even know what you're saying.
The Orioles AA affiliate in Bowie.
Oh.
Duh. All right, that's all 30 teams and their first halves tied up in a nice bow. We're going on 3 hours of straight ball talk. I'm losing my voice. My throat hurts. I'm tired. But it was worth it. It was a great first half. And here's to a second half. A second half of home runs, of diving plays, of bean balls, of balks, and of bunts. Anything else you guys want to add for the second half? Or to tie a bow in the first half?
Incoming news for the community. We got a new question system rolling out. I think it'll be ready for the next episode. Maybe I'll try to get it in and we'll post about it maybe. But I'm going to set up a Discord for you freaks. So you can post your questions, you can interact with each other, and it'll be just more systematic approach to the question situation rather than digging through YouTube comments. And because most of them are about Joey's speech patterns and that kind of thing, so it gets a little hard. So we're going to try to simplify it. So, become a member of the Discord community. We'll post the link.
Get on Discord, but don't talk about anything like bad in there. No terrorism or anything.
Yeah, we'll probably have some limitations for what they can do, but
yeah, don't be too big of gamers in there. But yeah, get in the Discord and start just talk to each other, man. Talk ball, dude. Just to ask some questions and shit. All right, Mitchell, anything?
Going to a bunch of baseball games this week.
Which games?
Nationals Friday, Braves and Orioles Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, they're in the Camden Yards.
They're in Camden.
Holy moly!
If you also want to go see baseball games, there's a SeatGeek code.
SeatGeek.
Go meet Mitchell there. He'd love to meet
10.
you. Mitchell will meet you in there. Just use SeatGeek. If you use the code SeatGeek and you show proof to use SeatGeek and use our code, Mitchell will meet you at Camden Yards in person.
First podcast listener to kiss Mitch without his consent gets a free t-shirt signed by Joey Duffield.
Yes, sir. We might even give you Mitch's job. That's a challenge.
It's like a Highlander situation.
Yeah.
Whoever kisses Mitch gets his job.
Yes. However, he can kiss you back. He gets his job back. So it's like, a tag situation.
Right.
So,
Could just be a really exciting evening.
yeah. Well, yeah. To each their own. What happens in Baltimore stays in Baltimore. You going to go see Babe Ruth's house?
No.
You're not going to stay in Baltimore?
I'm going to stay, but we're going to be watching a game Saturday evening and then Sunday afternoon. So,
You gonna go to the aquarium?
should I go to the aquarium or should I
I
go to
like the
Babe Ruth?
aquarium there.
I don't know.
It's good. It's a good aquarium.
Apparently, it's Baltimore Restaurant Week, so there's going to be some good deals in Baltimore.
Why not go to the Bowie Bay Sox game while you're out there in Maryland?
Isn't that the other direction?
Bitch, I don't know.
Isn't Bowie east of us and Baltimore's north?
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
Maryland-
even understand how Maryland.
Maryland's
is that
such a
big.
weird shape. You look at Maryland and you're like, that is directly across from this part of Virginia.
Right.
Well said. Maryland is.
Sometimes
a
I
weird
drive to
state.
Alexandria. I drive past a sign that says "Welcome to Maryland." 4 minutes later, "Welcome to Virginia." I'm like, I don't even understand what's happening.
When I go to Costco, we leave DC and then we go right back into DC.
Okay, big flex, Costco card. If you kiss Mitch, you also get his Costco card.
Joke's
That's
on you,
part of
it's
it.
not mine. But yeah, weird place we live in.
Yeah, Maryland is a weird shape. Because you'd be out there in Morgantown, West Virginia. You're like right next to Maryland.
I feel like
That's
whenever
like 7 hours away.
I drove to Michigan for college, I'd leave Maryland to go into West Virginia, and then I'd be right back in Maryland.
Wow, subtle flex. Yeah, we get it. You went to college, bro. Jeez.
So did you.
Yeah, but you don't see me bragging about it every episode.
If you're still listening, you're a real one. I'm gonna make you a moderator. on
Oh,
the
please,
Discord.
please do some betting, Jack.
All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. Love you. See you next time.